On the edge of the Yorkshire moors is the picturesque town of Kirby Moorside, home to auctioneer Angus Ashworth. He's on a mission to help some well-known faces.
Hello! Welcome to my humble home.
Hello!
Hello!
Turn their odds and ends.
It's just sat there, collecting dust.
It's valuable and should be looked after.
Of course, we just use it for a fruit bowl.
Into piles of cash.
£200 to £300 there, maybe £300 to £500.
So that might fetch a couple of quid.
It would.
Come along as he visits their homes.
Welcome to West Sussex.
You're very welcome, sir, very welcome.
Welcome to Shea McGee.
What a wonderful place.
And uses his expert knowledge
They're one of the nicest things I've seen in a long time.
to uncover hidden gems.
There is something else I think will excite you.
Very glamorous.
And I had some big earrings. I was really showing off.
Sentimental family heirlooms.
They were my granddad. My granddad was my hero.
And the slightly odd.
Do you like my lips?
Very nice lips.
Children's shoes, which are a little bit spooky.
Then invites them back to his Yorkshire Auction House
And that's paid for my dinner.
to watch him put them under his gavel. Yorkshire, known as God's own county, home to lush valleys and gentle rolling hills, and home to auctioneer Angus Ashworth and his team at Kirby Moorside. Angus's interest in antiques began when he was a teenager. It's taken him over 20 years of training, hard work and learning to have his own auction house.
£30.
And there is nothing he likes more than to pass on his knowledge and experience to the newer, younger Rydale staff.
We have some junior staff, and that's very important in the business to have that next generation coming up through the ranks so that we can impart our knowledge onto them.
What's it made of?
It's teak, so it's 1970s. This is what people want now. It's good that they see not just what happens in the sale room, but what happens when you go out on a call.
Nice.
It's all about teaching that full package so that they can learn the whole process.
Today, he's taking trainee valuer Charlotte on a trip down south to meet one of the nation's best-loved celebrities.
Charlotte,
Hello.
we're off on a road trip.
Exciting. Where are we
It
going?
is. London.
Okay.
Guess who we're going to see OC?
Tell me.
Claire Sweeney.
As in, like, West End Claire Sweeney?
Yeah, like the Claire Sweeney.
Sounds exciting. Let's
We're
go.
off, yeah, come on.
Ahead lies a 250-mile trip for Angus and Charlotte. That's about 4.5 hours on the road. Time for a game of...
I spy.
I don't start that.
maybe not.
You looking forward to seeing Claire?
I am. I'm really excited to meet her.
She's great. I do like her, actually. I say it like I know her, which I don't.
We all feel like we know her. Claire Sweeney, this Liverpool lass, is a soap star, singer, TV presenter and veteran of stage and screen. A proper legend. And she's letting Angus into her home.
Still haven't got used to driving in London. This
is amazing. Tell you what, looking at the houses around here, I'm excited to get inside and have a look around.
You'd like to think there's some good stuff inside, wouldn't you?
Claire recently shipped a houseload of possessions to her base in Pimlico, London, after selling her holiday home in Spain.
The win-win thing about doing this and meeting Angus is for me to clear my boxes out of Mallorca. They've been sat in my friend's garage for 3 years and I've got all kinds in there.
That's a knocker and a half, isn't it?
Hello. Hi, Charlotte. Hello, Angus.
How are you doing? You all right?
I'm good. Are you all right?
Very good, thank you.
I've got some treats for you.
Oh, excellent.
Come
Great.
on, come in.
Thank you.
Hi, guys.
Hey, wow.
I've got some crystal for you.
Okay.
I've got a bit of memorabilia.
Okay.
And some of the personal bits as well, which I'm reluctant to part with, but, you know, here goes. Let's do it.
I'll put some Northern charm on you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The The story behind this is I had a house in Spain, and it was a massive house. 16 years I had it for.
Wow.
Had about 10 lives in it. And it was so big that I had space for all this crystal. It was all displayed and everything. And it's been there in boxes, and I couldn't quite part with it. So when I knew I was seeing you, I decided to get it all shipped home, and it literally arrived this morning.
Fantastic. Well, I'm glad you did. Great. I mean, real quality, and you know, you feel the weight of that.
The weight of that, yeah. It is gorgeous, isn't it? It's William Yeowood.
Okay, yes.
William Yeowood was a crystal designer whose reputation shot through the roof in 2008 when he was asked to supply the royal household with their glassware.
Well, I think that makes a really nice selection to sell.
The crystals should sell well, but any Claire Sweeney memorabilia could really pull in the bidders.
You've done a lot of West End and theatre.
Yeah, I love being on stage. I love musicals, but you know, I kind of jack of all trades, really.
I know you
I love doing it all. Speaking of which, I found this for you.
Okay. My words, this...
An old Brookside script.
Wow.
Famous for its controversial storylines, Brookside ran for 21 years.
Now, I think this must have been one of the specials. It was 1997, yeah? Episode 1974. And I think it must have been one of the specials or the movie we did.
Yeah.
Claire played Lindsay Corkill for over 10 years.
I was so lucky. I was a gun-toting, drug-dealing lesbian. I mean, I got to do so much in that show. And what was wonderful about the show, it was groundbreaking stories.
Presumably you would have had to pore over this and learn all your lines from this.
Absolutely.
And Brookside was probably your big break?
It was my big break, and to be fair, I was a fan of the show, and I used to rush home every Saturday to watch it with my mum. Then when I went to work on the cruise ship, she used to send me the videos to watch, and suddenly I was part of my favourite TV show.
Yeah.
It was an amazing, amazing script.
Yeah.
So it holds very, very fond memories for me.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, that's lovely. Well, Charlotte, you'll probably do a better job at packing than me. You're right packing those
Yeah,
up.
no, that's absolutely fine. I'll get started on that.
Brilliant.
So, Angus, these are just some memories on my wall. I like
Of course, any celebrity worth their salt has a wall of fame in their home.
It's not like an egotistical wall. I just like them tucked away, but it's nice to look at them, you know?
When you see it laid out like this, you've done a lot.
Yeah, I've been around the block a few times.
After Claire finished Brookside in 2003, she moved from our TV screens to treading the boards in the West End.
So there's two shows I've been very proud to be part of. First of all, it was Chicago, because that was my first big musical I did. It was a massive show at the time, playing Roxy Hart. That was wonderful. The happiest show I've ever been involved with is Guys and Dolls with Patrick Swayze. Patrick was a really, really beautiful person. He's probably one of the most generous actors I've ever worked with on stage.
What a remarkable career.
It's nice, isn't it? It's a nice memory. Well, I've got one thing that might interest you.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay, where are we going?
Into my boudoir.
Oh, right.
So, Angus, welcome to my very camp bedroom. So this is an antique Cartier watch. I was given this by an ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
And he gave it me, telling me it was Elizabeth Taylor's watch.
Is this why he's in that?
Yeah, and I said, well, show me the paperwork then. But the paperwork never turned up. But it's a lovely, lovely watch. See?
Very nice, in the Cartier red box.
Yeah, I never wear it.
And you're happy for this to go?
Yes, yeah.
And that's...
I'm sure Elizabeth Taylor enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
I mean, obviously we can't say it's a but very nice. And, you know, there's good market for it. Cartier, you know, very sought after.
Yeah. It's in nice condition, isn't it?
It is. Known as a tank watch, this rectangular face on it there. Really quite nice, very elegant, classic design. It's got diamonds down the side, but it's not OTT.
No.
You know, that is nice, especially with its box. Okay,
Well,
so
there we
you're
go.
happy for that to go?
I am happy for it to go, yeah.
Brilliant.
Bedroom done, moving on.
So there's a lot of stairs in this house, Angus.
Right, it's a lovely house, I have to say.
Certainly keeps you fit. So this is the Lord Linley vase, right?
Okay.
It was a gift.
Another gift? Isn't Claire the popular girl?
A gift,
I'm
okay.
feeling a bit bad.
Oh, dear.
Sorry, but I don't really use it.
Yeah. Well, if you don't use it, then
Yeah.
the design of it's very nice, isn't it? And That's good. Okay. I mean, I don't want to cause you any trouble. Are you going to upset? Are they a good friend or?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. If they're good, they won't mind, will they?
This vase should appeal to collectors, as it has a royal connection. David Linley is the Queen's nephew who specialises in handcrafted, bespoke designs. Inspired by his discoveries so far, Angus has gone off by himself.
So Angus is downstairs in the kitchen and he's rooting through my drawers. I'm more worried about are they clean than what he's going to find, you know. It's a bit weird having someone just going through your house.
And champagne. The naming ceremony. Presentation, naming of the ship. There's a great market for wine, champagnes, whiskies and that sort of thing. This one's got a bit of history to it. A standard bottle in its own rights, you know, sort of 30 to 50 pounds at auction. So we'll get a little bit more for that. I'll see if I can tempt her to let me sell some champers.
Angus might be able to make Claire some money from this champagne. If she lets him take it.
What have you got?
Well, I went rooting through your cupboards. You've got a lot of vases, haven't you?
Oh, yeah, I get a lot of flowers. Or I used to get a lot of flowers.
Oh, I'm sure you still do. I found 2 bottles of champagne. Do you think you'd let one of those go?
Absolutely, yes. So I started on cruise ships when I was 19. And then years later, once I'd done Brookside and all that, I got invited back as a VIP guest to the naming ceremony of the Oceana and the Adonia sister ships. And all guests were given a bottle of this. I prefer a bottle of Carver, so I wouldn't appreciate it. I'd rather, you know, sell that and get like
10 bottles.
1,000 bottles of Carver, probably.
Brilliant. Well, we'll take that. If we have a good sale, I might give you a bottle of Carver again.
Okay.
And if you're offering free Carver...
I'll tell you what else I've got downstairs. I've got a bottle of Collector's Lauren Perrier as well. In the box still.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, we'll definitely have that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. God, this is the house that keeps on giving, isn't
I know,
it?
yeah. I know. It's kind of like the relics are all coming out.
Angus takes a final look around and persuades Claire to part with a few more things.
All right, Charlotte, I've got you some more
Perfect.
boxes
Thank
and
you.
more bubble wraps. We've got lots
Great.
of delicate things. Are you all right with all this?
Yeah, that's
I'll
fine.
go grab the other bits and bring them up.
Okay, yeah.
And then it's time to start that epic drive back up north.
I've really enjoyed today and I found it quite cathartic. I am a little bit of a hoarder. And I do think there comes a time in one's life when you have to just part with things because your space changes, your lifestyle changes. Thanks so much, guys.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you very much.
And I'll see you at the auction.
See you on auction day.
Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you.
There's a real mix of items today, and obviously the outstanding item is the Cartier watch. We've got some great stuff.
It's been a long but successful day for Angus and Charlotte, and now there's only one thing on their mind.
Oh, back to Yorkshire.
What a day.
It's late evening in Kirby Moorside,
Hello.
Hey, up you? Are you all right?
and jewellery expert Harriet is eager to see what Angus has brought back from Claire Sweeney's house.
There is one thing you're going to love.
Is it in that box?
Nice Cartier watch for you.
That's so
Maybe
nice.
if you have it for like. Okay, let's have it back in the box.
I don't know how to get it off.
Oh, yeah, funny, of course you don't.
Whoops, stuck on now.
And I put it upside down, didn't I? There we go. Anyway, that's your department, jewellery.
Okay, I'll
Get
keep
that
a hold of that
catalogued.
one.
It's very nice.
Thank you.
Go on then, let's
Maybe
get
not,
this
but I'll
lot.
get this inside. Thank you.
It's a week after Claire Sweeney's house clearance, and inside the sales room, everyone has their role to play preparing for her auction, including Harriet, who's been examining her Cartier watch.
Hello.
Hello.
It's nice, isn't it?
It is.
Just been doing some research. We did actually have one at the beginning of this year that sold for 3,800.
Oh, wow.
Harriet is using a diamond tester to measure how fast the stone conducts heat, as each type of gemstone has its own unique rate.
And it's definitely diamonds. So I think if we estimate this between 3,000 to 5,000, then I think we should get a good result for it.
What is it that makes it so expensive? Is it the brand?
So the brand's, nearly 200 years old now. It's the middle of the 19th century that it was kind of founded by a guy called Louis-Francois Cartier. And yeah, I mean, it's gold. So we did have a silver one as well that sold for 1.5.
Okay. It is a lovely watch.
It is, isn't it? It's gorgeous.
Every item has now been catalogued, ready to be sold. All that's needed now is for the seller to arrive.
Hi, Angus.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm very excited.
Are you?
I am. I'm really excited, yeah. I'm kind of like curious about what the watch and what the crystal will do. I'm going to donate a proportion of the money to Clare House as well, which is nice. Okay. A charity, so it's going to a good place.
Well, great. Well, hopefully we'll get a few good results for you. You've had a bit of interest, you know. I think seems to be a few Clare fans out there, actually.
Yeah, righto.
Brilliant. Well, let me show you around.
Right, come on.
It's auction time.
Today, we start with the Claire Sweeney collection.
Helping out today is Emma and Heather on the rostrum, while Gary is on the floor on porter duty.
We go on to this little
First up, the William Yearwood crystal.
Good crystal is this, good heavy decanter there. Where should be with this all boxed up there? £50 a bit, at 50 it is, then at £50 it is. At £50 it is, then at £50 at 50. At £50 for the crystal decanter, at 50 at £50 it is.
I do not possess me when I bought it.
65, 65, 70, 70 at £70 it is, then at 75.
Addictive personality. Bought the collection.
At 75 it is, then at £75, 80, anywhere is it now? At £75, it does 80, we'll put a bottle in it as well. At £75 it is, then at £75. We're all done at 75.
75 quid's good, isn't it? Better than a kick up the bum with an open-toe sandal.
Off to a great start, and the rest of Claire's crystal set also did very well. A second decanter sold for £60. A water jug for £42. Vase £38. A pair of wine flutes for £130. And 2 goblets for £60.
60.
It's literally been sat in a storage place for 3 years.
That's £330 in the bag already, and Angus has just got started.
Now we're on to the good stuff. Good stuff, you know. Champagne.
It's the bottle of 1999 bubbly Angus managed to grab just before leaving Claire's house.
It's been in my kitchen, and I always worried that coming from a night out, I've had a few drinks and open it, so I thought, get rid of it.
55, 65, 75, 85, 95, 100. £100 we're at then, at £100 for the bottle, at £100, at £100 for the champagne then. We're all done for the sealed bottle of, in the box there, the 1999 Dom Perignon at £100. We're all done, I'm selling then at £100.
It's all right, isn't it? It's racking up.
The fizz is going down well, and there is still another bottle up for grabs.
This was specially presented for the naming of the P&O cruise ships.
I've been on Adonia.
You've been on this ship? No way.
I have been on this ship.
Well, you'll have to buy the naming ceremony bottle of champagne, won't you?
It was the maiden voyage, and we were all given this as gifts, so it's something you can't buy.
£50 bid, 50 to 2, at 50, 5, 60, 5, 70. At 70 it is, then at 70, at £70 at 70. It's worth that. At 75, £75 at £75. At 75 it is, then at 75, 80, £80 a bid at 80. £80. At £80 it is, then at £80. At 80. You should have picked up some more freebies when you were there.
Yeah,
at £80 it is, then at 80. At £80 it is, then at £80.
80 quid? That's all right.
Now time for that unwanted gift with a royal connection.
Now this we have had a lot of interest in. This
Really?
is the David Lindley satin wood and hardwood sectional vase.
I never use it.
We start at 55, 65, 85, 100, 100, 110, 110, 120, 120.
I feel a bit bad for selling it, really, but...
£140 it is, then at 140. We're all done 150, 160, 170. Commissions are out. 170 in the room at 170, 180, 180, 190.
You're joking.
190, room bid at £190, 200. 210 it is, then at 210. In the room at £210 for the vase. 220 back in at 220, 230, sir. 230, 230. 230, at £230 for the vase, at £230, 240 the bucket, 250 sir, 250 bid, 250 it is, at 250, at £250 it is, then at 250, we all done for the vase, 260, 270 sir.
Go on.
270, 270, 270, 270 in the room. It's against you on the internet at 270. The gavel is up. 280.
Oh.
280.
280.
290. 290. At 290 it is then. At £290 then. Last call. Gavel is up to 300.
Oh.
£300 online at 300.
Go on, you can do it.
320, 320. Just keep encouraging him, Claire.
Go on.
In the room at £320 it is then. At 320, 340, 340, 360, 360. It's at £360 in the room. Last call, I'm selling the vase that your friend gave you and you said not to tell anyone you were selling it.
Sure.
At 360, I'm selling that at £360. Thank you.
360. Thank you.
Great result. It's a gift that just keeps on giving.
Any Brookside fans in the room? Oh dear.
No, just me.
Yeah, just you.
Yes, it's Claire's Brookside movie script. It's supposed to be a thriller. But will it thrill the punters?
Oh, this could be embarrassing if no one bids for
edition, it was
this.
the special £30 start me. £30 bid. Ooh, straight off £30 a bid at £30 it is then at 30.
There might not be any Brookside fans in the auction room, but there is plenty of interest on the internet.
£32, 32, 32 it is then at 35, 35, 38, £38, £38. At 38, 40, £40 it is then at 42. Anywhere is it now? 42 surely. At 42, no, 42, 45. Yes, £45. At 45 it is then. At 45 for the script. At 48, anywhere is it now? At 45.
The Brookside script sells for an incredible £45. You couldn't make that up. Claire's also selling a top brand CD player.
£170.
Marvellous.
And now for Claire's star item, the Cartier watch. Harriet placed a value of between £3,000 to £5,000. Time to see if she was on the money.
There we go. Right, there we go. The ladies' Cartier wristwatch there. Where should it be for this? Couple of thousand star me. £2,000 star me. Lovely watch there. £2,000 for it shortly. £2,000 and bid at 2,000 at 2,000 at 2,000 at 2,000 and 50 and 50 at 2,050. 21, 21, 2150, 22, 22, 22 it is. 2250, 23, 2350, 2350, 24. 2450, 2450, 25's it now, at 2450, 25 sir, 25, 25, 25, 2550, 26, 2650, 27, 2750, 28, 2850, 29, 2950, at 2950, at 2950, 3,000. At 2,950, 3,000, thank you. At 3,000 it is then. Commission bid holds it at 3,000. 3,050, anywhere is it now? At £3,000 then. We all done for the watch. At £3,000 then I'm going to sell away then at £3,000. We all done? No. At 3,100, fresh bid. Commission bids are out. At 3,100, looking for 3,2 now. I'll take 3,150 if you like. At 3,100 for the Cartier, I'm going to sell then at £3,100. All done. Gavel up at 3,100.
It's great. It's been in my drawer for years.
Doesn't time fly when you are having fun?
I'm thrilled with that.
Claire is pleased, but how did Angus think the auction went?
And that's what we live for when we're on the rostrum. It's that adrenaline rush. When you get something that really races on and it's exceeding estimate and you're getting into the thousands, you do get a buzz. And, you know, the room feeds off that as well. You know, you'll all of a sudden it goes quiet. Oh, somebody's doing well, you know, and everyone, just starts paying attention.
So how much will Claire be going home with?
Hey, you all right?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Okay, wasn't it?
Yeah. The watch surprised me.
Did it? And we got rid of the champagne.
Oh, the champagne, yeah. The champagne that I didn't even remember I had from the cruise ship. That was a nice surprise.
Because you said you're more of a carver girl, didn't you, than a
I
champagne
do love a bit
girl?
of carve.
So...
Oh,
Got you some Carver. We've downgraded your champagne.
I've sold me expensive champagne and got a Carver. That sums me up. I love that. What about the Linley vase?
That was incredible.
I know. I mean, what's all that about?
So in total, you did £4,324.
Really?
And the bottle of Carver.
Who'd have thought, eh? Wow, not bad for a day out.
No.
Thank you. Oh, I'm really thrilled at that. That's
glad.
good news. Going to go to a good cause as well, so yeah, it's good. It's great just stepping into your home and your business and everything. It's a different world, so thank you for letting us in.
That's all right. You're welcome. We'll take care and we'll see you.
Brilliant,
All
thank
right.
you. Bye.
Cheers. Thanks. Bye.
It's another busy day at Rydale Auction House and another trip down to London for Charlotte and Angus.
You all right, Charlotte?
Hello.
Playing with your teddy bears?
Yeah, having a good look.
We're going to London.
Who are we seeing?
We're going to go see Christopher Biggins.
Oh, okay. That's exciting.
Yeah, come on then.
He's the mother of all dames and he's graced our boards and screens for over 60 years. Actor, TV presenter and friend of the stars, it's Christopher Biggins.
Sometimes I look at my CV and I think, my goodness, look what you've done.
They have another 4.5-hour journey ahead of them, and Angus will be doing all the driving.
It's not often you get to come in the big van, is it, Charlotte?
No, it's an exciting trip out.
Do I ask how the driving lessons are going? 'Cause
They're not going. They're not happening.
you're looking forward to seeing Christopher Biggins?
I am looking forward to meeting him and finding out what he's like.
But he's got a lot of artwork.
Okay.
He's invited us down to have a look. He wants to thin out a bit,
Yeah.
but I get the impression that his head's saying he needs to thin out and his heart's saying,
Keep hold of it.
yeah. So I'm not sure if we'll come away with
Yeah.
much. Good for you to come out on a call and see how that side of it works. Sometimes you don't get a lot on the day, but it's that initial contact with a client,
Yeah.
and then down the road
You might decide to part with a bit more.
I think he just wants us to have a bit of a rummage around the house.
Christopher has had a house in Hackney, East London, for over 30 years, where he lives with his partner, Neil.
Are you a fan of Panto?
Yeah.
I mean, I know.
Panto at Christmas.
Yeah. I mean, I know he's done a lot of other stuff, but I mean, that's what he's really famous for, isn't it?
Panto I'm really proud of because I love it and I've become a sort of icon in a way because I've been doing it for so long and I adore it. I mean, it is one of the most wonderful things you can do.
Right, this is going to be fun, isn't it?
Good luck.
Time to try and park.
Got one. Got one, Charlotte.
Seen
Look
it.
at this. Seen it.
Go,
Quick,
go,
let's
go.
get it for everybody else. Let's go see Mr. Biggins.
As you get older, you sort of want to declutter and we're also thinking of moving. This house is so big, I'm not going to be able to take everything with it, so it's going to be a difficult one, but we'll try.
Good
Hello,
morning.
how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Come in.
Thank you.
Come into my Aladdin's cave.
Well, it looks like it. Thank you very much. Wow. I like this room.
Full of treasures that I've collected over the years.
What a wonderful space.
It is a wonderful space. And the thing that I loved was the double height of this room.
Yes.
It's perfect for hanging paintings.
And already, you know, just coming into the house, I can tell you've got a real passion for art.
Yeah, it's something I've collected over the last 50 years, I suppose. Everything means something. Everything has a story attached to it.
It'd be interesting to have a look round and see what we can potentially do for you. Because, I mean, are you sort of thinking of moving at some point? Or?
Yes, ideally what I'd like to do, I'd like to be able to buy a house and move room by room. But it's not going to happen. So, I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do with all this art. I mean, it's incredible.
Yes.
But it is very important to me, though, and I love it.
I'll get Charlotte and we'll have a walk round and have a look at your lovely home and see what we can find.
Yes, good.
Christopher leaves Angus and Charlotte to have a look around by themselves to see if there is anything he could bear to part with.
Wow.
What do you think, Charlotte?
It's incredible. Look at all the art.
You're in heaven,
Yeah,
aren't
I
you?
am.
It's a great house, isn't it? It's like
It is.
amazing. I love this balcony.
Like a proper gallery.
But he's also got a few antiques. I mean, I'm going to test your knowledge now. Do you know what that's for?
Tea?
Well, it's for fluid. So this is a testing cup, a wine taster. So you get a little bit of wine in there, and all these dimples and shapes shine the light through, so you can get the light through the wine and look at it and taste it.
Try it.
Well, I'm sure we've got a bottle of red about somewhere.
Talking of a lovely vintage,
What's that little face there?
Personalised cushion. It's amazing, that. With a halo and everything.
Well, why not? Star of stage and screen.
I have been around forever. I mean, I'm 72 now, and I've been in the business about 54 years. And I can't believe it. I mean, it's extraordinary.
I love this painting up here. It's just really colourful.
I love the fact you pick a colourful picture for somebody who's colourblind, but I can see the colours.
I was testing you.
Angus knows Christopher likes art, but what else can he find in this treasure trove?
Everywhere you look, there's something new, isn't there?
But everything will all have a story, and I think that's the fascinating thing about going into people's houses is you don't know what you're going to see. Everyone's different.
Christopher's love of art goes back to when he first started in showbiz, aged just 17.
I mean, there are bits everywhere, isn't there?
Now, after 50 years of collecting, he has over 300 paintings.
I think it's a very eclectic collection, and it's, you know, it's not worth a huge amount of money. They're all people I know and people I love, and I think they're wonderful artists.
Really, Charlotte, we can't leave today without a bit of artwork.
No, not given the amount here.
But we need to get something personal, I think, really. So we'll speak to him, but I think, you know, something like
that'll
that.
be popular.
That's a theatre thing. We'll get him to sign.
Yeah.
That'd be quite good.
That's a nice one.
Do you like that?
Yeah. Very Sudbury, isn't it?
Watercolour. Could be a Scarborough Beach up that, couldn't it?
It seems like Angus is never far away from home. Once a Yorkshireman, always a Yorkshireman.
Right, I think we'll find Christopher. I'll have a quick chat with him, see if we can get a few bits, then we'll get packed him in the van and get back to Yorkshire.
Sounds good. Let's go.
Angus has found several items he wants to take away, but will Christopher let them go?
I don't think we could really come into your house and not walk away with some artwork.
Yeah.
And I found a few that were sort of stacked up. There's this watercolour.
Yeah.
Which reminds me a little bit of Scarborough, the chalets.
I know, it's lovely, isn't it? I like the idea of chalets. I think they're so pretty, especially you see lines and lines of them. No, I'm very happy for you to have that.
Wonderful. And then there's a few personal bits that I sort of found.
That was I posted. I did the Edinburgh Festival the last time it was on. It was fantastic, and I loved it. And I did this sort of chat show, and I loved doing it.
If you could sign that for us,
yeah, of course,
we could take that in, and I think that's a great lot.
Yeah.
And we've got some bits that tell a real story about you.
Very good.
I found this, which I think's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, my Madonna impersonation. This is a really very clever design of a pantomime costume. And I wore that in Brighton, I think it was, and it went down a storm. They loved it.
It's quite an outfit, isn't it?
It is quite an outfit.
And do you have to wear a wig and everything?
No, that's my own hair.
That's your own hair? Wow.
Don't be so stupid.
Block me neck. You've had it cut. Oh, wonderful. And is that something that could potentially go?
Yeah, you can have that. I'm very pleased
Well,
with
I think that's great.
Angus has managed to persuade Christopher to give up a few of his paintings. But is there anything else to go back to the sale room?
And I know Charlotte, who loves art, has actually fallen in love with something that I know she'd really like to take to auction.
Yes.
I don't know how you'd feel about this. Charlotte, what do we...
Well, I really like this amazing cushion of you with the kind of Christ-like version of you on it.
Yeah, it's a fun cushion, and there's candles too.
Well, yes, I did find the candle.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if we could possibly take that to go with it.
The candle and the cushion. Yeah, all right then, you can take both of them, yes.
That's
very
kind.
good.
You made Charlotte's day. Well, I'll get all these bits gathered up.
Good.
Me and Charlotte will hit the road back to Yorkshire, and we look forward to seeing you on auction day.
Indeed, and have a good journey back.
Angus and Charlotte have left with a few of Christopher's things, and maybe after the auction, he'll get the taste for parting with more.
So I'm pleased that we're walking away with a few bits, and we couldn't go in a house like that and not get some artwork. So great to get some pictures, but the key thing for me was that sketch of his costume design, because that's really pertinent to, you know, Christopher Biggins and his pantomime career, and it's something he actually wore, so I think that's absolutely fantastic.
Have a good journey back.
Thank you very much. You take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Angus has taken away several things that I've agreed to sell at auction. I think it's just interesting and fun to see what it will go for, and whether it will go for nothing or whether it will go for a little bit of money.
We'll stop somewhere nice for tea on the way home, Charlotte.
After a long drive back to Kirby Moorside in North Yorkshire, Charlotte is met by Pete, who is keen to see what she has brought back from London.
So, all right, how was your journey?
It was great.
Was it?
Yeah. He's a big character, Christopher Biggins.
Yeah, I bet he is.
The house was really interesting as well, loads of artwork.
Let's have a look then. There you go. Loads of artwork. Has he done these?
I don't think so.
Or has he starred in them?
Yeah, that's one of him as a dame. That's one of his costumes. He had loads of great artwork, but unfortunately, I don't think he was willing to part with a lot of it. But we've got some good bits.
Right, yeah. OK.
Oh, there was something else. There was a cushion.
Is there?
I'll go and get it.
All right, yeah. Oh, my God, as if.
Do you not like it?
Do you? Oh, God, he's there again and all.
Inside the auction house, staff are getting ready for the sale.
That one is height 73.
While Angus is logging Christopher's possessions ready for online bidders.
Items can have value really added if, you know, they belong to a famous person, celebrity, you know. Imagine a watch, it's worth £1,000. But if it was James Bond's watch, well, then the price really goes up. So, you know, Christopher Biggins, he's got his items and his name adds weight to stuff. And, you know, people will collect certain celebrities, certain famous people. If it's something that really screams them, then of course it's going to do well.
It's auction time, and Christopher and his partner Neil have arrived to see their possessions go under the gavel.
Morning, gentlemen.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. You all right?
So how's it all going?
Very well, yeah. Good trip up.
Yeah, very good, very good.
Very nice, thank you.
Yeah, it looks like you're looking for things to buy, never mind selling.
Well, I know. Did you have that made, that sort of judge's plinth?
We call it a rostrum.
Oh, right.
So auctioneers sell off a rostrum. I'll sit up there and there'll be my two clerks. They'll be running all the internet bids. So there's got about 400 people online. Social media, the locals, they just come down to every viewing.
Well, you're going to have to work very hard today.
I am.
Good luck, and we want as much as possible.
Well, I will do my best. I mean, I've had some challenging things to sell, but I mean, I think the cushion's going to be a career highlight for me. I don't think we'll be sending Christopher Biggins on a world cruise. I mean, his items are more fun than high value.
We're very excited, aren't we?
We are, yeah, we're a little bit apprehensive that it might sell.
But we're
undersell.
Well, I think we'll do well. I'm hoping that we'll get 2 or 3 million. That's what I want, really.
It's time to bring in the bidders. Potential buyers take their seats along with Christopher and Neil. While Angus takes to the rostrum with Emma, Heather and Harriet are helping with the online and phone bids.
This is the lot that I know you've all specially come for. So this is the Christopher Biggins pillow, and you get the candle as well. It's a lovely pillow, good squishiness. Charlotte was hugging it all the way back in the van.
Now, what about the starting price?
£500. OK, £10 then. Let's be on then at £10 for it. £10. Surely somebody. £10 at £10. Bid at 10. We're off at £10 at 10 it is. At £10 it is, then at £10 at 10. 12, surely. £12. Are you tempted?
Of course I'm tempted.
Go on, then.
There you go.
£12 at £12 it is, then at £12 at 12. 15 at 15, it's on fire at £15 for the pillow at 15. We're really going to work this one. £18, you get the candle as well. Surely £18 at 20. £20 we're at. Charlotte, are you going to be able to say goodbye to it? 22, anywhere is it now? At £22 a bid at £22 at £22 at 22. 25 it is, then at £25 at £25. At 25 it is, then at £25. Then we're all done. It's an expensive candle. At £25. 28 in the room now. £28 at 28 it is, then at 28. Rounded up to 30, surely. Internet bidder, where have you gone? £30, let's round it up shortly. At £28 it is, then at £28. We all done £30. They're back in at £30 it is, then at 30. Any advance now at £30. At £30 it is, then at £30. God, I'm a good auctioneer. At £30 it is, then at 30. I'm selling then at £30. Thank you very much, Internet.
Some lucky soul can now wake up each morning to biggins in their bed or on their sofa.
I've sold some things in my time. These are all from Christopher Biggins. They're out of his house. Big art lover.
Up next, the Seaside Chalet.
Sunlight on the veranda, watercolour. And I've got 30 bid, £30 I'm bid at 30. At £30 it is, then at 32, 32, 35, 35, 8, 40 and 2, £42 at 42 it is now at 42. We're all done at £42 it is then. A little bit of paradise there at £42.
Another good sale to someone who also appreciates beach huts. Now to find out if everyone, or anyone in Yorkshire, loves a dame.
This is an original costume design signed by the designer and Christopher there as well. Was this at Panto?
It was Panto, yes.
Have you still got the outfit?
I'm wearing it.
Oh, lovely. There we go. Oh, no, you're not. £60 I bid at start me at £60 at 60. I mean, if you had a cushion, you've got to have this to go next to it, really. That's £60 for the costume design there. 65, 65, 70, 75, 85, 95. At £95 at 95. At £95 for the Madonna. It'd look good in a local theatre, wouldn't it? At 95 it would. At £95 then. At £95. Thank you very much, sir.
Sold, and to a local theatre as well. Next, who fancies a bit of late lunch with Biggins?
Where should be for this? £20 start me. 20 I'm bid, thank you very much. At £20 at 20 at £20. 2, 22, 25. Oh, we're off now at £25 at 25, 28, 30. At £30 it is then at £30 at 30. At £30 I'm going to sell then. At 30, was that a bid, sir? No, you're just moving. At £30 at 30 it is then at 30. We're all done at £30. I'm selling at 30.
Not bad.
Not bad.
A few more items are mopped up by bidders wanting something that belonged to Christopher, the star of Porridge, 80s Kids TV, and Britain's favourite panto dame.
The watercolour there, I'm selling then at £35. Done at £30. £42 it is then, selling that at 42.
And then the auction is over. Oh, yes, it is.
Hey, well done, Angus.
Well, we had a bit of fun, didn't we?
We did have some fun. We did have some fun. It's interesting to see what goes and what doesn't go.
I mean, it's all to do with fashions and trends, and things go up and down, and what sold really well 10 years ago doesn't now, and vice versa. So it's always a tricky one, but it's quite often items that you think will do well don't, and the bits that you think, oh, and then all of a sudden you get a surprise. But,
Yeah.
I mean, I had an absolute huge surprise today, and that was with a pillow.
Does this man's face ring a bell?
Yeah, I know. Your top line sales was £269. Get you a nice meal out.
You did very, very well. Well done.
But you've had a good day and you've enjoyed it.
Very good indeed. Very
so
good
much
indeed.
fun.
I'm glad you've enjoyed your trip to Yorkshire.
Yeah.
Thank you, it's been amazing. We've had a great time.
Thank you so much. Well, take care and all the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I'm sad to see that cushion go, you know, because it was very special. But it,
Oh, darling.
hopefully, it went to a wonderful home somewhere.
I know, but you'd only sit on it anyway, wouldn't you, really?
Hopefully now that Christopher's seen some of his things sell and some unlikely things make good money, he might be a little bit more tempted to let some other things go and get in a real windfall.
On the edge of the Yorkshire moors is the picturesque town of Kirby Moorside, home to auctioneer Angus Ashworth.
220, 220, 230, 240.
He's on a mission to help celebrities.
Hello, darling.
Hello.
Hi.
Angus, hello,
Annika.
come on in.
Morning.
turn their odds and ends
Maybe we should have a look round.
If you're ready for this,
Yeah.
it's a big place.
into piles of cash.
So do you think they're worth a bob or two?
Somebody would give you 10 quid for that.
Clearly not you.
Who signed it?
Yeah.
Sarah Baker?
Yeah.
Worth a fortune.
I think it's quite a rare thing. You're looking at about sort of 500 to 800.
OK.
Come along as he visits their homes
Gin and tonic?
This is just idyllic, isn't it?
It's pretty special, I have to say.
and uses his expert knowledge
That is actually a great find, but I can sell that all day long.
to uncover hidden gems,
That cat is pretty calm.
I'm going to introduce you to Lycra Room.
Wow.
sentimental family heirlooms,
I went on holiday with my mother on this little railway.
and the just plain weird.
No, Anthony said have a nosy in his cupboards, but what on earth?
Then invites them back to his Yorkshire Auction House
580, 600 is it now?
to watch him put them under his gavel.
Oh my God, he's like a magician, isn't he?
Bid at 70 it is, then at 70, at 70, at 70, all then at 70, gavels up at £70.
Angus Ashworth first picked up the gavel 21 years ago as a junior auctioneer in Scarborough. Today, he employs around 30 people. His auction house is thriving, and as a father to 3 young children,
£50.
£50?
he's busier than ever.
I'm incredibly lucky because I live and work in Yorkshire, which for me is one of the best places there is.
But from time to time, Angus's work takes him out of his beloved Yorkshire and across the country in search of hidden treasures.
Well, it's interesting that you're photographing a barometer.
Why is that?
Well, what does a barometer tell us?
The weather.
Yes. Well, there's a job to go look at, but it's for a weatherman.
Which one? Would I know them?
Owain Wyn Evans.
Yeah, I
weather
know.
person, and
I know
he
you
did that
mean.
drumming thing, didn't he?
Yeah, I know you
Yeah.
mean.
Well, we're off to his house.
Oh, right, OK. Interesting. Find out what's going on there.
Angus and Nick are embarking on a 90-mile drive across the Pennines to Manchester to visit the home of a modern-day national treasure. Owain Wyn Evans, Britain's most fashionable forecaster, known for his sunny smile, shiny suits and thunderous musical talents. His proudest moment was a 24-hour drumathon for children in need.
I had no idea that that would raise nearly 4 million quid. That's where we are now. The whole thing was so surreal, but it was just incredible.
He may be the Keith Moon of meteorology, but he's still got a shed load of gear that needs clearing sharpish. Now that's rock and roll.
I've got lots of aircraft paraphernalia, I suppose we could call it, which my father has handed down to me. He's an aircraft historian. I've got a shed full of Airfix models. I have no use for these things because I'm not a model maker, but Dad has wanted to get rid of these for a while.
The reason why I bought you, Nick, and you're going to enjoy this job, is he's got a huge collection of models.
As Angus's in-house model expert, this job could be right up Nick's alley.
Here we are. Always get a twinge of excitement before going into a job like this.
It sounds promising. Let's go meet him.
OK.
Oh, here we are, Nick. What a lovely garden.
Hello, darlings.
Hello.
So nice to see you
And
both. Come on in.
Thank you very much.
Owain and his husband moved into this 3-bedroom home in the suburb of Chorlton 2 years ago.
Welcome.
What a lovely home you have.
Oh, thank you. It's taken a bit of time. It didn't look like this when we first moved in.
And childhood for you was sort of South Wales, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. I grew up in a place called Ammanford in South Wales. It's an ex-mining town. It was quite a weird place to grow up as a young gay man. You know, I felt like I was literally the only gay in the village. Yeah. So that was a bit weird. But there's a certain fondness and a connection to the place, and Mum and Dad are still there.
Is there any sort of things that you've collected over your lifetime?
Yeah, weirdly, over the years, I've accumulated all sorts of stuff myself. And my father, for years, has been interested in aircraft, Second World War aircraft in particular. There are some significant models in my shed.
Well, this is why I bought Nick with us, because he's our sort of model and aviation specialist. And not really a lot you don't know about models.
I know a fair amount from experience. I'll have a look in the box. I'll know exactly what they are.
While Nick heads off to the outhouse, for Angus, the treasure hunt begins.
You've really got a mix, haven't you?
There's quite a lot going on, isn't there?
Yeah, I'm eyeing the watch.
It was actually given to a relative of mine by a German prisoner of war in Tunisia, and I had no idea that it had this history or this story. And then, ended up back in Wales, and here it is now with me.
Following the Battle of Tunisia in 1943, the Allies took more than 250,000 German and Italian troops as prisoners of war. POWs often traded valuables like watches as currency.
Works.
Does it?
Yeah.
I've never even checked if it worked.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Taken away.
I can't believe that.
So, really nice thing. Wristwatches are still very popular, even with the digital age where we all look on our phones. Wristwatches are still very in.
Yeah.
There's a particular interest in military wristwatches. So this is nice. German one, it's all stamped up on the back. The strap's not the original strap, but that doesn't matter. But that's a nice thing, is that?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very exciting to hear.
While Angus carries on snooping, model mad Nick's in seventh heaven.
There's some really interesting models in here, models that I never knew even existed. Almost all the boxes are just like this. Like, the day they were bought, they were absolutely mint, which is really quite rare. There's some old air-fixed small-scale ship models, which can do really, really well. What's underneath here? Let's have a look. We've got motorbikes and vehicles, cars, old Rolls-Royce. That's a nice little model, isn't it? Lovely. Look, £2.85 from Woolworths.
There's a real pick and mix collection of models here, which will require closer inspection back at the sale room.
We've got random bits here. What's going on with this? Oh, wow.
So that is a navigation lamp.
Yes.
From a Second World War aircraft, again, that was scrapped. These things that often come up, do you see things like this?
Yeah, so it's very much like an angle poise lamp, and it's made by Herbert Terry, who are probably one of the most well-known makers of the angle poise lamp, which is this sprung mechanism.
Right.
Become hugely fashionable again because it's out of a plane, and it would have been the navigator's little night lamp. But somebody would mount that on a block, rewire it all with modern wiring, and you've got a great quirky desk lamp.
It may look a little weathered, but this could shine. Even so, rusty old lamps just don't seem very Owain. Anything more sparkly on offer?
What drew you to brooches?
I don't know, there's something about a brooch that I love. I think that there's something quite flamboyant about a brooch, and the ones I like the most are the ones that you would probably not expect a man of my age to wear.
Yeah.
And I love making a suit more flamboyant and really more feminine and camp almost, you know, because, that cat is pretty camp. You can't look at that and say that's not camp.
Yeah.
So I love all of that sort of stuff.
They went completely out of fashion. I mean, they were a massive thing. Brooches were a real in thing, and then they kind of disappeared. And they're starting to come back, which is great.
Yeah.
And you get everything you can imagine. The weird and the wonderful and everything in between. I'll have a rummage through and see if I can pick anything out.
The brooches will be sold as a job lot and are heading straight for the van.
Owain's got the most interesting houses. The interior's lovely. He's mixed the old and new together, and it really works. And I love that. You've got 18th century, early 19th century pieces with 1970s pieces and modern pieces, and he's got some interesting bits.
And he's not done yet. Never one to miss a beat, Owain just had an idea.
There's a snare drum, which is part of this kit, and I played that when I was doing the drumathon. That might be something that I'd be interested in.
Okay, well that'd be
having a look at.
I think what would be quite cool maybe is on the skin we could sign it up and say from drumathon.
Nice.
I think that's it's a nice bit of
Yeah,
history, isn't it? Really.
Absolutely.
A unique piece of kit that's sure to drum up some interest on auction day.
Shall I have a little go?
Oh, go on then, Owain. Why not?
So this is an acoustic kit, but I've had it converted to electric, so it kind of, to me and you, it doesn't sound.
I mean, I think I need to get my children one of these for a trumpet and a recorder.
Yeah, the neighbours are thrilled that, it's not a conventional drum kit. Yeah. But, it still kind of plays like one. So There we go.
Brilliant.
Thank you. Growing up in southwest Wales, when I did, as a young gay man, the drums were always a thing that were there, and they were almost like a little comfort blanket for me. I've used them as a heat deflector when I was a teenager, as far as bullying was concerned and all that sort of stuff. But now I see them as a totally joyous thing.
Owain will donate proceeds from the sale of this drum to charity.
There we go.
That is brilliant. Thank you very much.
No problem.
While Angus has been autograph hunting, Nick's been a busy boy. The van is loaded up and Owain has a whole new room to play with.
Wow, look at that. I could see the shed again.
That could be a new drumming room for you.
It could be. That's where the drum kit will go. It's perfect.
Yeah. It's either that or you got a little cottage, you know.
Yeah, that's true. Could rent it out. No, it's perfect. I'm thrilled. I've loved having you here, and yeah, I can't wait to see how it goes down.
I'm sure we're going to do very well, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So lovely to see you.
No worries. Thanks.
See you later. Now the next step, of course, is the auction, so let's see how it goes there.
The thing I'm looking forward to looking up and researching is that German wristwatch. That potentially could be something a little bit special.
But with a lot of unusual bits and bobs as well, will Angus find buyers for it all? Back at base, the word is out. There's a horde of models on board, and specialist valuer Jack can't wait to have a nosy.
This is a really good job, isn't it?
Yeah, some really nice stuff. There's a couple of aircraft-related bits in here. OK, this is interesting. We acquired this somewhere. It's a TACAN device, a tactical air navigation system box, and it basically allows the pilot to determine where he's headed in relation to a beacon. From an F4 Phantom cockpit, it sits just under the artificial horizon.
It may not mean much to the rest of us, but this item that belonged to Owain's dad has definitely piqued Jack's interest.
It's not something you generally find as well. You'd think they'd probably all be destroyed after service.
We've got a tank periscope, and it works. Go on, have a go. We'll go.
I love that. That is fantastic. I'm actually holding it upside down, but still.
Meanwhile, inside the sale room, Angus is preparing a collection of watches to go under his gavel, as well as Owain's interesting Second World War timepiece.
Wristwatches have become hugely collectible, and people still like to wear them. We know the big names like Omega, Rolex, Tudor. They're a mark of quality, and people buy that brand. Now, Owain's watch, the brand and the name's not as well known. You know, it's not a mainstream one, but it was a World War II period watch, and that makes it sought after. So anything like that always commands a premium. Owain has, you know, the family story that it was given by a prisoner of war, which is a fascinating story, but you've got to have the provenance to back up a story like that. So, unfortunately, we can't sell it with that story because we haven't got any paperwork or anything like that to give that provenance, but nevertheless, still a great watch, and it will do very well.
Now the rest of Owain's goodies have made their way into the sale room, valuer Mark wants to get in on the act.
Oh, no, Nick, is this...
Yes, Owain's model collection. It's all from his father.
Wow.
These are the early ones. These are the ones that can be worth a little bit more money.
Yeah.
And amongst them all, he had an original Bristol Super Freighter. So that's actually quite a nice, valuable little model there.
This colossal fleet of miniature models will be divided into 25 separate lots. With an estimate of £40 to £50 each, that could bring in a windfall of more than £1,000. The big day has arrived, and weatherman Owain doesn't have to bring the sun, it's already here.
Wow, what a gorgeous day. Plenty of sunny spells, highs of 23 Celsius, and high pressure in charge, so hopefully it's going to be a high pressure auction as well.
Owain has created a bit of a stir at work, actually. Everyone really wants to meet him. Emma's volunteered to come and clerk on a day she's not normally in, and he's a lovely guy. I mean, we had a great time at his house.
Seeing as the models belong to Owain's dad, any money made from them will be heading his way. Unfortunately, model maniac Nick still can't keep his hands off them.
I saw these back in the early 80s, and it's a big-scale helicopter model. And seeing that up on the shelf always got me excited for some reason.
So that was a favourite of yours?
It was, yes.
Yeah.
Hello.
Angus.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Great, nice to see you.
And you brought the weather with you again, so thank you.
Well, I try. I hope it's as pleasant in the auction room.
I think we'll be all right, don't you, Nick?
Yeah, definitely.
You know, people like bits of old aircraft, you know.
Yeah.
Bit of history, isn't it? Hopefully we'll do all right.
I'm looking forward to it.
The auction room is filling up with eager punters on the lookout for a good deal. Will they find one among Owine's lots? Joining Emma to track internet bids is Charlotte, while Gary is on porter duty. But all eyes now turn to the man on the rostrum. The wait is over. It's auction time!
Owine's very famous for his lovely brooches, and these are a collection of his brooches. There we go, you too can look as stylish.
This first lot contains a mixture of costume jewellery, including hat pins, badges, and a dozen of Owine's brooches.
£20 unbid at 5, £25. At 25 it is, then at 25, 28, £28 at 28, 30, anywhere is it now? At £28 at 28, 30, thank you very much, sir. 35, 35, don't stop now. 35, £35 a bid, 35 pound a bid, 38, 38. 40, yes, at £45, £48, rounded up to 50, sir. In the room at £50. Thank you, sir.
It's a great start to the day. Now, from sparkly brooches to covert surveillance.
The tank periscope, there we go, always handy, isn't it?
I've used this quite a lot, actually.
You used it quite a lot?
Well, it's great for,
neighbours.
Yeah, exactly. Great for looking over the fence.
If you've got a fence, you can just...
If you're that way inclined.
Yes, yeah. The 18 bid kicks me off at £18. Very useful bit of kit. £18, £20 a bid at 20, £20 a bid at 20. £20 it is then at 20. For the tank periscope there at 20. £22 at 22 it is then at 22. Thank you.
A modest sum, but a sale's a sale. Up next, it's another treasure from Owine's dad's World War II collection.
This is a lovely thing. The vintage Herbert Terry angle poise lamp, but it's a navigator's lamp out of a bomber, not just an ordinary angle poise there. We start 80, 120, 150, £150 I'm bid at 150, 160, 160, 160 it is then, 170, £170, they don't come up very often, the navigator's lamp there at £170, we're all done, gavels up, I'm going to sell at 170. 170, thank you.
Making 3 times its estimate, the lamp has played a blinder. Can this next military item continue the march to victory?
The German World War II Army issue watch at 100, at 100, 110. 110 is it, 120, 130, anywhere is it now?
There's no sale room bidders, but the internet is on fire.
120 I have. At £120 it is then, at 120. We all done for the watch then, at £120. 120, thank you.
The auction is ticking over nicely.
Very nice, very nice.
Now, who's in the market for a sat-nav, 1940s style?
The F4 Phantom horizontal situation indicator from a tactical air navigation system.
Try saying that after a glass of rosé.
Interesting thing, £50 we start at £50 at 50, let's be on now. At £50, a good thing, 55, 65, 75, 75 at 75 at 75, 80, £80 at 80. It's flying away at £80 at 80, 95, £95 at 95, 100 is it now, £100 a bid. At £100 it is, then at £100, we're all done. At £100 I'm going to sell at 100. £100, thank you very much.
Up next is the first from Owine's dad's huge model collection.
Not many people knew this, but Owine's a massive modeller.
I mean, look at them.
I know.
There are just so many of them.
You never built any, did you?
Never built any. Couldn't be bothered to build them.
This first lot contains 28 model kits of British and German World War II aircraft.
We're at £150 start, 150 a bid at 150 at 150, at 150 top commission bid at 150, 160 commissions are out, 160 it's online at 160, 160 for the airfix at 160, 160 thank you.
Sold to an online bidder. Can this next lot fly away too? It contains 2 models, including Nick's personal favourite.
The Super Freighter, there we go. Quite a rare model, is that? £50 for it. £50. £50 start me at £50, all unmade there, as it is there. There we go, you get 2 of them. 40 to get us going then, come on. 50 unbid. Yes, 50 unbid at £50. They're in at 50. Don't drop the price now. £50 unbid at 50. At 50 it is then at £50. Thank you.
Another good sale, and that's not all.
28, 55.
Over the next 15 minutes, a further 20 lots of models go flying out of the sale room.
130.
Bringing in an incredible total of £1,638. It's the final item of the day. Drum roll, please, Owain.
Very drum-esque.
So there we go. This is the actual drum from the Drummer Fund, all signed up there. Please be generous with this.
Owain has promised to give any money to charity. All generous bidders need to step up now.
I've got £100 we start at. 100 commission starts me off 110.
The internet immediately springs to life.
140, 150, 160, 170, 180.
But Valuer Mark wants in on the action too.
210, 210, at 210 it's going to a good cause. At 210 commission bids out. At £210 it is then. At 210 we're all done for the drum. I'm selling then at £210.
Good on you, Mark. And if you ask nicely, Owain might even give you a few lessons, but not until he's found out from Angus what the final total is.
Angus, I was amazed at some of the things, because obviously for me, a lot of these models are things that I've seen around the house, you know, Dad buying, not building. And then to see them go for that amount was just, honestly, I'm thrilled.
Well, you'll be taking home £2,540.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And I was thrilled that the snare drum, you know, was sold as well, and I was able to sign it.
Yeah.
So that's brilliant. Again, that's something that was close to my heart, you know, that drum.
Well, you've been an absolute star, an absolute gent, so thank you very much.
Angus, it's been a delight. Thank you.
Owain, I mean, he did not disappoint. He's so happy whenever you see him. I think he was quite surprised as well, the results. I mean, we did really well, particularly the Navigator's lamp. I mean, a great bit of British aviation history, you know, out of a bomber plane. That sold really well. So, all in all, been a very good day, and he certainly added a bit of charm and charisma to the sale room.
This too can be yours.
One certainty of life at the auction house is that collectibles come in from all corners of society and from the farthest flung reaches of the UK.
Now then, Angus, what's the plan of action today?
Well, we've got a very long drive ahead of us.
Oh, where are we going?
Going to Devon.
Oh, lovely.
We're going to see somebody known for probably their political career more than anything else.
You were town mayor for a while as well, weren't you?
I was, yeah. I have a photo here somewhere. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
That was me on Yorkshire Day. At that level, it's not party politics.
Yeah.
But this person was very much a very interesting character. Let's hit the road. Right. A long journey.
Hope you brushed your teeth and put your clean socks on, Jack. You'll need to be on your best behaviour for this one. It's an epic 6.5-hour drive to Devon for Angus and Jack. They're on their way to meet a veteran of British politics.
I think it's probably best if maybe actually we don't mention politics at all.
Yeah, I thought she might bring it up herself, as it's part of her life.
Anne Widdecombe, firebrand of the Conservatives. After joining the party in her 20s, she carved out a 40-year career at the forefront of British politics, striking fear into the hearts of her opponents.
Nowadays, I look at today's politicians, A, I don't know what their agenda is, and B, they never seem to get it done anyway.
Let's hope Angus is on his best behaviour. Anne retired from the cut and thrust of Westminster more than 10 years ago, and soon after moved to this cosy bungalow on the idyllic Devonshire coast.
I came down here quite deliberately to be as remote as I could, as was sensible. I've got what I want, which is peace, quiet, solitude. Of course, I'm friendly with some of the neighbours. Of course I am. I'm not, you know, a recluse. But I haven't come here to sort of do things in the community. I've come here to retire.
Part of the retirement plan was to have a clear out of old things, but she's never quite got around to it.
I've often thought I'd like an antiques person to come into this house and just have a look round. There might be something here that I've never attached any significance to at all. Some of the things that I've attached significance to, they might tell me, you know, is completely worthless. And the great thing about Angus is he's got a very wide breadth of knowledge.
Oh, we're actually on Dartmoor. Home of the Dartmoor pony.
It reminds me very much of Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, the Hound of Baskerville's going to come running out.
Elementary, my dear Angus.
I'm curious to see what happens. I'm quite sure that some of the stuff will be worth tuppence, but I'm always hopeful that there might be something that's worth a bit more. I don't think I'd be much cop as an antiquarian, but I like looking at them.
Here we are, Jack. A few nice gardens sloping away.
Lovely little house.
It's nice, isn't it? Well, we shall find out what she's really like.
Feeling a little nervous, are we, chaps?
Hello.
I'm
How do
Anne.
you do? Angus.
Hi.
It's incredible of you. I can see why you're living here.
Well, I bought the views. Anyway, do you want to see some antiques?
I would love to, yeah.
Come on in.
Thank you very much.
After buying the bungalow, Anne had it completely remodelled to her own exacting specifications.
Well, this is the library.
Wow. I love this room.
So do I. All my life I said I'm going to have a library when I retire, a proper library.
Wonderful. And this interesting poster.
Yes. Ravenglass to Nestdale. It's a railway piece.
Yes, wonderful.
When I was a teenager, I went on holiday with my mother. One of the things we did, we went on this little railway.
Railway honours, very collectible.
Any idea how much that would go for?
1 to 200 on that.
Really?
Yeah, no, it's nice. I like it. It's a good subject. It's a nice picture.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, we like that. Yeah.
The next thing, it's an elm scarf, never been used, never been taken out of its wrapper, was given to me about 30 years ago.
French design house Hermès has been producing luxury accessories for nearly 200 years.
They're an absolute classic, and you know they do so well. I'll have a look at that particular pattern and what they're doing, and you know nowadays the internet bidding, you know, people from all over the world bidding, and something like that's easy to post out. So yeah, we should do okay with that.
Luxury scarves may hold their value, but how about these little chaps?
These are Charlie bears, which are, of course, collectible.
Yes.
And each one of them is in a bag. They're all limited run, you know, and they're all numbered.
We can always find a home for a bear. Well, we can always pull on the heartstrings, and if we're struggling to get a bid for a teddy bear, I just tell the audience that I've got 2 Jack Russells, and they usually put their hand up and save the bear.
With tricks like that, Angus, you'd make a very good politician.
I best go get Jack in. He's going to love this room. He's our book cataloguer.
Ah.
So he's going to be in heaven in here.
While Angus has been nattering, poor Jack's been sheltering from the rain.
There's a room in the house you're going to love.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
Come on.
Right.
None of Anne's books are going to auction, but that's not stopping Jack from having a sneaky peek.
Oh.
This is very close to what my dream library would be.
I know you'd be happy left in here, so I'll leave you in your paradise.
Yes. It's really lovely being in a library like this. There's a lot of political books here, but it's an account of the preservation of King Charles II, and it was published in 1801, 200 years old.
We know you're in your element, Jack, but there's a van out there that needs loading.
This is your gym/conservatory.
So what's Angus been roped into now?
This is my wobble machine. You stand on it, you get thrown everywhere if you put it on at high speed. Frightfully good for bones.
Right.
When the spacemen come back at NASA,
Yes.
they go on a very sophisticated version of this,
Right.
and it restores bone density, which they've lost in space.
How's your bone density today, Angus?
I feel like jelly. How long do you have to stand on this for, then?
Well, I do 10 minutes at a time.
I think that's enough for me.
OK, well, you just press stop.
Oh, it's a funny feeling, isn't it?
It's weird.
One thing I will not be taking and I don't want to get is that wobbly thing. It felt weird, and I've got too many wobbly bits. But it obviously works wonders for Anne, and I mean, you know, she's fit as a fiddle, isn't she?
The wobbler's not going to Yorkshire, but as teddy bears, paintings and other assorted curios make their way into the van, the boys certainly aren't short of goodies, and Angus isn't done yet.
Nah, this wonderful thing.
Yes.
Sometime we must have had a cobbler in the family. That came down from my great-grandfather. It's what you do for making shoes.
This mould, or last, was used by cobblers to help stretch out the leather of handmade shoes.
We see a lot of them, so that they don't do a lot of money. People do buy them, they make a good doorstop.
What would you get for that, £2?
I think we can improve on that. You know, might hit double
3?
figures.
Double figures?
Yes.
Somebody would give you 10 quid for that?
Well, clearly not you, but we're not selling it to you, so that's all right.
Take it.
Take it. Right. I like your challenge.
He really does love a challenge, Anne, but not quite as much as he likes snooping round people's homes.
I have clocked some.
What have you clocked?
Well, this very nice piece of Satsuma ware.
Satsuma? I thought that was a tangerine.
Well, yes. Well, it is, yes. It's also a region in Japan that's very famous for its ceramics, its pottery.
When Anne was a young girl, her family lived in Singapore and spent time travelling around Southeast Asia. This Japanese dish was owned by her parents.
What's unusual about it is it's rectangular. Normally I'd expect to see a circular dish or something like that. And if we have a little look, how is your Japanese?
My Japanese is non-existent.
OK, that's great, that's 2 of us. But what's nice is it's got a 6-digit character mark, so generally more digits the better. I think that's what we would call a speculative piece.
Right.
I mean, I think a sensible estimate would be sort of 150 to 250 pounds.
I mean, I've really only got it on display because, you know, it was my parents and therefore, you know, it's got some sentimental connotations, but not enough to stop me selling it if people got excited.
Well, I'm delighted you're letting me have a chance with this, so...
Well, yeah.
And thank you very much, Anne. You've been an absolute pleasure. And we look forward to seeing you on auction day.
OK, I shall see you then.
Brilliant.
I've thoroughly enjoyed the day. I was amazed at the Satsuma. Totally amazed at it. I just thought it was sort of any old souvenir. So that was a bit of fun. If it makes money, that will be nice. If it doesn't make money, well, it's been an adventure.
We've got some interesting bits. And, you know, that Satsuma ware plate, that could just run away with us. So I really hope that we can give her a bit of a shock and a surprise on sale day. But that'll be down, I think, to the internet bidders, and you never know until the day.
Back at the auction house, Angus and specialist picture valuer Charlotte are preparing Anne Widdicombe's goodies for closer inspection.
Where do you want these? Just here?
Yeah. Nice picture there for you.
Lovely painting, that.
Yeah, lovely, isn't it?
Who's it by?
Olwyn Tarrant. Yeah, we haven't got lots of things. We've got a few bits.
Look at these teddy bears.
Well, yes, because not only are you pictures, you're the teddy bear lady, aren't you?
They're Charlie bears, aren't they?
They are.
I didn't have Anne Widdicombe down as a teddy bear lady.
No, I wasn't quite sure what to expect when I went and saw her, but I have to say she was very nice.
Right then, I'm gonna get them lotted up for the sale.
Yeah, well, I knew they were the best person to leave the bears with, so yeah, I'll leave it with you.
Meanwhile, in the room next door, Jack has already started peeling away the layers of history on Anne's Satsuma plate.
No, Jack, how's it going?
Yeah, not too bad. I had actually quite a bit of fun looking up the mark that's on the back.
You need to get out more, Jack.
I know, I do. So, just for future, I mean, that little round circle, the crossing, that means Dai Nippon.
OK.
Now, the mark, it took me ages, because there's quite a few similar ones with the characters. But I've got it down to the Makazu kiln of Miyagawa Kozan. We've put it as early 20th century because it does look it. Interesting enough, that particular kiln was destroyed in bombing in 1945, towards the end of the war, and they didn't rebuild.
We've got a slight problem.
Which is?
Anne's been on the phone.
Right.
And she's had a bit of a change of heart. Because obviously it was an old family piece, And I get what she's saying, you know, does she want to let it go for £200? It's an old, you know, bit of a family history. Say the reserve's now 500. I think having a hefty reserve on that could spoil its chances. I think really that's her star item that could swing how good a result is, isn't it? If that sells, she's going to be in for a good day. If not, well, she'll have had a nice ride out to Yorkshire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anne's travelled 350 miles from Devon to be here for the big day, and she's making the most of it by having a good rummage.
10 bob note. When I was at boarding school, I used to get 10 shillings per half term for pocket money. 50p.
Fingers crossed you'll be walking away with a little bit more than that today, Anne.
Morning, Anne.
Good morning, Angus.
How are you feeling about being in an auction? Are you...
Well, I'm curious, I think, is the operative word. You know, I haven't got anything on sale that I don't really want to sell.
Yeah, there'll be a few people in the room. There'll be a lot more online, phone bids and commission bids. So, yeah, we'll see what happens.
As the auction room fills up, Charlotte reacquaints Anne with some old friends.
They're very sought after now, actually.
I
know. I don't know if you know that I think this one is particularly rare.
Really?
Because it's not actually a bear, it's a cat. And,
and
I think they're limited edition. So
yes,
the fact that there are less of this, this is one of 200 produced. So they're quite sought after, these.
The wait is over. As Angus steps up to the rostrum, his team are limbering up. Tracking online bids are Jasper and Jack. Donning the porter jacket is Gary. Leave your politics at the door, folks. It's auction time.
Right then, morning, ladies and gentlemen.
First up, the railway poster, a memento from Anne's childhood holidays.
I'm going straight in at £65. At 65 and bid at 65. The railway poster there at 65. At 65 it is then at 65. 75, 80.
All the bidding is taking place online.
£80 round at 80 it is then at £80 at 80. At 85, 90. At £90 it is then at 90. We're all done for the poster at £90 at 90. Steaming away at £90.
Anne's off to a flyer. But are there any fashionistas in the house? Anne's designer scarf is up next.
£70 start me. £70, we're off at £70 and off. At 70 it is, then at £70 at 70. 5, 75, 80. £80 a bit, 85, 90. We're woken up now at 90, 95.
Again, the internet is driving the sale.
100 at £100 it is, then at 100. At £100 it is, then at 100. 110, fresh bid at 110 it is, then 120, 120. 130, at 130 it is, then at £130. 140, thank you. At 140, at 140, at 140. 150, thank you. At 150 it is, then at 150, at 150. 160, we're still climbing. At 160 it is. At 170, 170. At £170 it is, then at 170. At 170 it is, then at £170. 170, thank you.
The silk scarf's almost doubled its estimate.
Not bad.
Anne didn't think this next lot would even fetch a tenner. Angus, on the other hand, reckons it will be a shoe-in.
Now, this is the lot you've all been waiting for. The shoe last on the leg there. There we go. I mean, it makes a good doorstop. You can make a lamp out of it. £10 for the leg. And don't let me down, because I've got a bet on with somebody that it'll do at least £10.
He has.
£10, surely. Ladies and gentlemen, £10 this leg.
I told
This
you.
is going to be my defining auctioneering moment. £10. 10, don't let me down. 10, I bet the internet comes to life. At £10, at 10, we're off. At £10, £12, 15, 18, 18, they're going crazy. 20, £20 it is. At 20 it is, then at 20. At £20, at 20, at £20, at 20.
An internet bidder has just made Angus's day.
Well, I'd just like to say
You won your bet. Yeah, you won
thanks.
your bet.
Now is the turn of the painting by Welsh artist and sculptor Olwen Tarrant.
And that goes straight in at 120. 120, it's a good picture. This at 120, 130, is it now? 130, 130, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 170, 170, 180, at 180, at 180, 190, 190. I've got two of you coming in at the same time. 190, 200, £200 a bid at 200. At £200 it is, then at 200, 210. 210, commission bids out at 210. At 210 it is, then at 210. They're all done lovely painting at £210, 220 anywhere is it now? At 210 it is, then at 210. Gavel is up at 210.
It's another sale.
Not bad.
Anne's teddy bears are next. The first one up is part feline.
Now this is unusual because it's actually a cat bear. It's got £50 bid. 50 and bid at 50 it is, then at 50. 5, 60. £60 a bid at 60, at 60, at 60. We're all done. At £60 at 60, at £60.
Sold to a sale room bidder.
Not bad.
Over the next few minutes, Angus puts a further 5 teddies under the gavel.
£50. £28 at 28, £28. At £50.
Bringing in a total of £196. Anne's final lot is the Satsuma plate. She's instructed Angus to place a £500 reserve on this. Pressure's on.
I feel like I'm under scrutiny. It's terrible, this. Very interesting piece, this. There we go. Lovely bit of Satsuma web. And I've got several commission bids. 200, 300, 360, 380, 400. At £400 we're at. At £400 it is. Then at 400, 420 fresh bid. 440, 440, 460, 480, 500, 520 is it now? 540.
The bidding has just rocketed past the £500 reserve.
560, 580, 600 is it now? 620 we're at 620, 640 is it now? At 660, 680 is it? 680 anywhere is it now? At 660 I'm at. At 660 it is then, at 660. At 660. At £660 it is then. We're all done for the Satsuma ware at 660.
Well, I thought it was a heap of junk, so thank you.
How's that for a tasty little dish? Angus has shifted 14 of Anne's lots, but has he done enough to win her over?
Yes.
That was okay, wasn't it?
The Satsuma obviously surprised me, but I still reckon you got one of your mates bidding for that leg. I really do. There's no way that anybody is daft enough to pay £20 for that.
Well, they have.
Are you really telling me the truth?
Sold to an internet bidder.
Right, well, I make no comment.
So overall, we're happy.
Oh, overall, we're very happy indeed, yeah.
I suppose you'd like to know how much you're taking home?
I reckon round about 1,500.
After our bit and everything, it'll be 14.45.
That's great, yeah.
Wonderful.
The centrepiece was the Satsuma, which I never focused on at all. And I think if my mother's up there, she's laughing.
Well, Anne's always been a tricky one to read. I was watching her closely when I was selling, seeing if it was happy facial expressions or not. But I think years of standing on one side of Parliament, she's used to playing the politics of a situation. I'm just over the moon because I told her that leg would sell, and it did.
On the edge of the Yorkshire moors is the picturesque town of Kirby Moorside, home to auctioneer Angus Ashworth.
Now this is a good thing. I know a lot of you in here own Ferraris.
He's on a mission to help celebrities.
Welcome to Pal Towers.
Blimey, that was a knock.
Nice to see you.
And
Come
you.
on in.
Hello.
Turn prized possessions collected over their lives
And these are potentially to go, are they?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's a bit weird.
into piles of cash.
If we auction this, we're going to go halves on the profit.
Come along as he visits their homes.
Basically, my home is your home.
Anything that doesn't fix cars can go. You can assure me you're actually an auctioneer. This isn't some weird burglary or something.
And uses his expert knowledge
If this is right, this could be something very special.
to uncover hidden gems,
The table at the back, I like more than anything else.
Yeah.
sentimental family heirlooms,
This is a problem when your mum and dad keep everything.
and the super strange.
So how do you have Houdini's sack?
then invites them back to his Yorkshire Auction House, where he sells their unwanted treasures.
1,800 for Lawrence's pumpkin.
And makes them lots and lots of money.
Yes, thank you very much indeed.
Mademoiselle.
Oh, thank you, Jack.
Jack's tying up. Maybe Angus, actually.
That's terrible, Angus.
Removal men Gary and Pete consider themselves the creme de la creme of loading and unloading the auction house's vans.
Yeah, it's always the same, isn't it?
Yeah.
But while their hands are full of furniture, Angus is calling on the help of specialist valuer Nick for today's job.
Nick.
Hello.
Hello. Say what you see.
Nice telephone box.
Yeah, but imagine if it was blue and said police on it.
It'd be a TARDIS.
Correct. We're going to go see somebody who's the longest-running Doctor Who companion.
Oh, Fraser Hines, is it?
Fraser Hines, it is. I knew you would know
I'm
that.
with Doctor Who.
Yeah.
There you go, Nick. You're in for a treat then. Fraser Hines appeared alongside the second Doctor, Patrick Troughton, as his trusty assistant, Jamie McCrimmon, for a whopping 116 episodes. Hines also starred as Joe Sugden in Emmerdale for a mammoth 2 decades.
Well, not a huge drive today. It's over 2 hours. Going to a little village just outside Lincoln.
OK.
Yes, they'll be meeting Thesp Fraser, king of the long-running TV character, at his home in Bassingham.
I've been acting, crikey, I think nearly 60 years. It's amazing. I'm still at it as well. I think my career highlight would be Doctor Who, definitely. We'd still be in the TARDIS now, because we're having so much fun. 3 of the happiest years of my life.
He's done a lot. I mean, he's been in the business a long lot. I mean, he started as a child actor in movies.
I think I was 11 when I did King of New York, a Charlie Chaplin film. It's great. If I'm back home having a supper party and somebody says, oh, Ian McKellen said to me that when I was doing The Hobbit, I said, well, Charlie Chaplin once said to me, and the knives and forks go, what? There's probably only 4 actors that actually are still alive that worked with Charlie Chaplin. And luckily, I'm one of them.
Well, I think it should be quite an interesting job, although I need to ask him why on earth are Yorkshireans living in Lincolnshire?
I'm a Yorkshire Scotsman because my mother is Scottish and I was born in Yorkshire, so people say, can't get any meaner than you, Fraser.
Watch out, Angus! And this Yorkshire Scotsman is taking no prisoners when it comes to this clear-out. With plans to move into a smaller property that perhaps seems bigger on the inside, some of his worldly possessions have got to go.
Well, I wanted Angus to come today because I've got quite a few things just gathering dust. If you look at something and go, it's memories or history. If it's history, you can get rid of. Memories you keep. As simple as that.
OK, I think I understand. And what are the plans for any profits?
I want to go to Australia to see my nephew. He lived in Melbourne, so he's getting time off from work, so he's going to turn around with me.
All right, here we are, Nick. I'll pop in and see him and see what's what.
All right, well, I'll hang on here until I await further instructions.
Hello.
Angus.
It is indeed.
Fraser.
Fraser, good to see you.
Come on in.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Welcome to my humble little abode.
I mean, looking round, you've got racehorses everywhere.
Me on my horse, excavator lady.
So you're actually a jockey?
Yeah.
What?
I had my racing colours, Yorkshire TV colours, black with a yellow chevron and a brown cap for the earth.
Yeah.
So that was it, yeah.
So we're having a bit of a fin out today.
Yes,
right?
definitely, yes. I've dug some lovely stuff out for you. I've got some lovely antique stuff like Bessics. I've got some lovely old pictures and paintings. I've got Doctor Who stuff.
Aha, some things from his illustrious career. What's first?
How's about this here, look? My original Emmerdale Farm cap.
Hey, still fits.
Yeah, if the cap fits.
Well, I've got mine with me as well.
Yeah.
I think I prefer mine, but what do you think?
Good. So the peak is quite strong. So when I did milking scenes, I used to spin it round like that and do the milk. And somebody said, why are you doing like that? Because if you do it that way round, it's very sensitive for cow's udders. And the peak is jagging it, so you have to wear the cap back to front.
I think I'll keep my cap, but I can definitely sell yours for you.
A great first find. I'm sure there's some Joe Sugden fans in Kirby Moorside.
And look now, this is a one-off, Angus. It was at the 50th anniversary Doctor Who party, and every Doctor and his companion had a table decoration.
Yes.
Patrick was always playing the recorder. That was his little trait.
Yeah.
And at the end of the night, it was left there, and I said, what's going to happen? They said, well, we're going to throw it away. I went, well, I'll have it. Because I thought, one day, you know,
it's unique, isn't it?
There's going to be a collector who will think, crikey, I've got a one-off.
So you're happy for that to go?
Yes, I am, yeah.
Yeah. Right, well, I best go get a box for that.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, and I'll get packing.
Boxes at the ready, Nick.
Hey, Nick, you all right?
Yeah, yeah.
There's not huge amounts. It's mostly small items.
Yeah, can I bring some boxes?
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
Right.
Leaving Nick to get a head start on the packing, Angus goes hunting.
With Fraser's love of horses and racehorses, I'm not surprised to come across some of these ceramic figures. Now, this one's by Bezic, and Bezic was founded in 1894, I think it was, and they predominantly made decorative figures of animals. This could be Fraser in his heyday as a jockey. Now, when we look at the base mark, this is a relatively modern Bezic piece. So the original piece like that would have been from the early 20th century, that particular model, but it's been recreated later on with this more modern Bezic stamp on it. If it was the earlier version, it would be a bit more interest, but still a good thing.
This 70s remodel could still fetch a few quid on auction day.
Hopefully, we can take that, and that will be a winner for Fraser.
What's this? It's got a space rocket on the front of it. No. Russian space food. That's really interesting. Well, there'd be a big difference between space food that was actually made with the intention of sending it up to the space station. That would be a lot of money. This is more of a kind of a gift pack, an experience just for civilians to enjoy. Cherry drink, I've got banana parfait. Of course, you've got some borscht as well, which is a special sort of Russian Eastern European dish. They're all in tubes. You know, it's literally, that's how you eat in space. I mean, they've been eating this since the 1960s. I'd have to try it. I would definitely try that as an experience. But like on a night with some friends around or something, hey, try this, have a bit of proper space borscht. It'd be quite a fun night.
I bet Fraser has had a fun night or two in a career that spans 6 decades.
You've been in a film with Charlie Chaplin, is that right?
Yes.
And do you think, although it came at the beginning of your career, do you think that's one of your career highlights? I mean, that's...
Oh, yeah, it's got to be, yeah. And that and Omar Sharif lending me his Rolls Royce.
Oh, that was very nice of them.
In Austria, yes. We were making a movie, and I was playing chess with him, and he said, what are you doing tonight? I said, I'm taking a young girl out dancing. How will you get there? I said, I'll take a cab. He said, I've got a lot of lines to learn. I'll lend you my driver. Lovely man, lovely man. The next day he said, how was yesterday? Oh, thank you so much. Lovely day, lovely evening. Is she beautiful? Oh, beautiful. Are you in love? No, 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 no. Would you mind if I took her out? Yes, of course. Here's a number. And I started to laugh. Why are you laughing? I said, I bet this is the first time that an actor who's not even on the poster got to the girl before you did. He went, yes, the only time. You can see him thinking, never again.
I mean, what a fascinating chap. And he's got a real mixture of items. You know, there's not loads of things, but what I really like is a lot of these items really speak volumes about him, whether it's the Bezic racehorse, relates to his racing career. You know, we've got his cap, iconic cap. And, you know, we couldn't come here and not get a bit of Doctor Who memorabilia.
Talking of which, it's the TARDIS, but this one seems to have a phone in it.
Right.
So where are we going? In my house?
Yeah,
where
well,
are you taking me?
I'll introduce you to Nick.
Hello, Fraser.
The Doctor's assistant meets Angus's assistant.
My colleague is our, well, sort of in-house toy and model specialist.
They can't all be time travellers.
Have you seen one of these before, though?
I haven't seen one of these before.
Yeah.
No. Oh, nice, though.
Yeah, and it works. That plugs into your normal socket.
Yeah. You're much better off having something interesting like that in your house than a normal
I think,
phone.
I think, yes.
It's a centre point, isn't it? It's a talking piece. And how long have you had it?
Oh, crikey. I've got to have it at least 20 years.
So that can go, can it?
Yes.
The lads get to work with loading up all of Fraser's things. And after 90 minutes of hard graft, the job is done. Well, almost.
Now, this is interesting because this is a very, very famous picture. Pharaoh's horses. This won't be the original painting. If it is, I can retire, and so can Fraser. But the original painting was done, I think it was around about 1848, by John Frederick Herring. Now, Herring is become a renowned painter, and this is arguably his most famous artwork. And as such, students or artists copied Herring. Now, there have been examples that have made thousands. Now, I don't think this is in that league, but it's still a fantastic piece. You know, it's got a fair bit of age, this. The early 20th century, turn of the century. Now, there isn't a signature on this, but, you know, we could be well into the high hundreds for this. Yeah, today's been a good day. Fraser, well
done.
We're all loaded up, yeah. It's been an absolute pleasure to meet you.
I get to meet you guys again over a pint up in a good Yorkshire ale or champagne, who knows?
Yeah,
Depends
well,
how the sale goes.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, we'll see you on sale day.
Yeah,
I know you'd be delighted to be back home.
Look forward to it.
See you.
Cheers.
Right.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Nick. Well, it'd be interesting to find out what other people think of stuff I'm selling. You know, whether they agree with me thinking, yeah, that's brilliant, or tumbleweed comes in.
What a fascinating day. You know, the thing I'm most excited about is that painting, the Pharaoh's horses. You know, very speculative. Could that run away and do some good money? Hopefully it'll be galloping away.
Let's hope you're right, Angus, because Fraser will be banking on every last penny to make that trip to Australia a reality.
Hello.
Hey, Charlotte.
2 hours later, Angus arrives back with Fraser's items and the team gets straight to work unloading and preparing them all for auction. Something has caught sale room manager Jeremy's eye.
This is a really nice object. Super thing. It's a cigar humidor. The purpose of the humidor was to keep the contents, i.e. the cigars, in perfect smoking condition. If a cigar isn't kept at the right humidity, you can get one of two problems. First one is they get too damp, hence they won't burn at all. And if they get too dry, then they burn really quickly. It was considered quite the thing to keep your cigars properly in the early part of the 20th century, and would be very important that you had a really good quality humidor. Obviously today, there are less people smoke, it's less fashionable, but the people that have them now want a nice one. It's a really good quality example. Absolutely fantastic.
Nick is taking a closer look at a set of 4 whiskey glasses and a decanter he brought back from Fraser's. And it looks like specialist valuer Chris wants a nosy.
All right, Chris.
Oh, I'll just take a seat if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Oh, what's this then you've got?
It's a commemorative set of RAF World War II aircraft. So you've got Spitfire, Hurricane, Mosquito, and of course a Lancaster. Yeah, what's quite important about this is it's 80 years ago that the Dam Busters raid took place.
Of course, it was 80 years this year, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's the night of the 16th and 17th of May 1943, and not all the bombers came back.
No, they didn't.
Quite a few were shot down, but they destroyed two dams, 2 of the 3 dams.
That action itself was probably what made that aircraft so iconic. It's a nice set, actually. I mean, it's not the kind of thing that you want to put in a cabinet and just leave there. It's the kind of thing I'd actually want to use that.
Unfortunately, though, the actual stopper has been broken off and re-glued. Different orientation.
There, you can
now.
see that there, yeah. And that is going to affect it, unfortunately.
It will.
It's still a nice set, though.
Yeah, it was different, isn't it?
It's been 5 weeks since the clearance, and Yorkshire-born and bred Fraser is back on home turf.
I kept passing signposts. Oh, I remember that place.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that place. Oh, I remember there. I remember here, there.
Or any particular what you're worried about or excited about?
The humidor. If somebody,
humidor should sell all right.
Cigar smoker, yeah.
But maybe a picture might do all right.
Well, you're the expert.
Well,
not me.
we'll see. We'll see. Come on, let's go have a look.
Yes.
Fraser has 18 lots in today's sale, And there's a few minutes to spare for him to take one final trip down memory lane.
God, good old days.
Any cash made will be going towards Fraser's big trip to Australia. Think you can raise him the airfare, Angus?
I don't know, we've had mixed pre-sale interest. There's one or two things that have had a bit of interest in them.
The old Doctor Who phone box, which is a real phone box, actually.
And of course, we're hoping there's some very strong Doctor Who fans online that are going to really bid on those items, because, you know, they're fairly unique.
It reminds me of Patrick Troughton, so I'll be sad to see this go. Apparently, Angus has high hopes for this.
The star of the show is that picture, the Pharaoh's horses. I really, really rate that. So it'd be interesting to see what that does.
Well, we're about to find out. You can feel a buzz on the auction room floor as excited bidders take their seats. We've got Charlotte and Eleanor keeping a tentative eye on those internet bidders. Joe is taking phone bids, and we've got Porter Vanya on the floor. Saddle up.
Right then, it's gone 10 o'clock. We can get on the way then.
And they're off.
We've got the Basic horse there, the jockey taking the fence. It's you, isn't it? There we go. Where should be for that? 60 bid, £60 a bid at 60 it is, then at 60.
A flurry of bids come in online.
Same mark. 65, 70, 70, 70 a bid at £70 a bid, 555, 75, 80, £80 a bid, £80 it is, then at 80, £80 it is, then at 80, 85, steady on, FR, 85, 90, £90, so keen, they're bidding twice. At £90, it's like a horse race at 90, 95, £100 is it, 100 it is, at 100 in the room, at £100, at 100 coming into the final straight now. Are there any challengers coming on the outside? No, it's at 100 in the room, at 100 we're taking the last fence, at 100 the gavel's up, at £100.
Hey!
Thank you. Thank you.
Wait in.
The horse and jockey kicks us off nicely, bringing in some healthy winnings. Next up,
Fraser's cap there, as worn as Joe Sugden. There we go. Where should be for this? Famous cap. £40, 40 and bit. 2, we're off now. 42, 5, 8, 50, 50. At £50 it is, then at 50. Selling, then at £50.
a Joe Sugden admirer right here in Kirby Moorside gets this. Now for the nest of recorders, a memento of Fraser's cherished years working with second Doctor Patrick Troughton.
There we go, where should be for this? 40, 2, 5, £45 are up to 45, 48, 50, 50 a bid, £50 a bid at 50 it is, then at £50 at 50 it is, then at 50, at £50. There we go.
Good though. Angus are good.
So this is the Doctor Who TARDIS telephone. Where should be for this? I've got several bids. They start at 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. 90 a mat, 5, 100, 110 for the TARDIS.
I'll even sign it.
You'll even sign it if we get another bid. You can have whatever you like on it. There we go. At 110. We're all done at 110. 120.
Ooh, a bidder in the room swoops in just in time.
120. At 120 it is, then at 120.
Yeah. Well done.
It's time for Fraser's Humidor that Jeremy had high hopes for.
I've got £100 bid, 110, 120, 120 a bid, 130, 130 a bid, 140. Are you in at 140, 150, 150?
Oh, that's better.
£150 it is then. We're all done the Humidor up 150.
That's right.
Another good sale.
It is then at £90.
And over the next 5 minutes, Angus puts 11 more of Fraser's lots under his gavel, including the Russian cosmonaut food,
At £20.
the whiskey decanter set,
We're all done at £20.
and 2 bright red retro telephones.
Selling then at £50.
Before moving on to the final lot, the reproduction of Herring's famous Pharaoh's horses.
Of course, after John Frederick Herring, who did the original there.
It's grabbed a lot of pre-sale interest, this one.
Where should be for this? I've got phone line, Net comes straight in at 480. I've got 500. 500 a bid. 500 a bid at 520, 40, 60, 80, 600.
Internet bids are tumbling in.
40, 60, 80, 680, 680 a bid. 680, 700 online, 720, 720 a bid. 720 it is, 740, 760, 760, 780, 780 a bid. 780, 800, 800 a bid. 800 it is. £800 at 800. You're right. £800 at 800. But on the phone, 820.
And now a phone bidder wants in.
820, 820 on the phone. 840, 860. 880, 900. It's on the phone at 900. Selling then gavel up at £900.
Wow.
And with that, the sale is done. Fraser has big plans of taking a trip to the land down under. But have his collectibles raised enough for him?
Fraser.
Wow, what about that?
Was that all right for you?
Over the moon, and particularly the three rearing horses. You work like a Trojan up there.
Well, I suppose you'd like to know how much money you'd be taking home.
Oh, God. Oh, yes, you know.
Yeah, you've forgotten about that, didn't you?
Well, no, I'm from Yorkshire. I'm from Yorkshire. You never forget.
Well, we're taking home £1,817.
No.
Yeah.
Wow. God, that is brilliant. Well, that's my airfare to Australia to see my nephew then. Great to be back in Yorkshire. Oh, I think, in fact, I'm going to stay the night and go round Yorkshire tomorrow on my way home.
I'm absolutely delighted for Fraser. The big result was the picture. It sold really well. He was really surprised, the look on his face. You know, it's moments like that that make that job worthwhile. He's been an absolute gent. We've had a great day, and I think he's very happy.
Have you seen what this is, by any chance?
It's an electric shock.
No, it's not.
Treatment.
Really?
A lot of weird and wonderful things come into the auction house. And this nifty tool could be perfect for Angus to keep his staff in check. Talking of checks, these two look like they're dressed for a day of lumberjacking.
All right, Angus.
Oh, yeah, you're all right, Jack.
Yeah, not too bad.
Interesting you bringing a radio in, because we are going to go see a radio DJ.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, she's done lots of other things.
OK.
It is the wonderful Jenny Powell.
Oh, yeah, tell you what, I listened to her on the morning.
Yes, Angus and Valuer Jack aren't going to chop down a forest. They're off to help Jenny Powell. From Top of the Pops to Wheel of Fortune to Loose Women, Jenny has graced our telescreens since she was a sprightly 16-year-old.
I basically entered a competition back in the 80s. A TV station were just looking for new faces, and there were about 4,000 people that turned up. So when I won that, it was quite a feat.
4 decades later, she's still at it.
Now gone into podcasting and a lot of radio. So, yeah, I have to say, I'm doing everything I love to do.
Hopefully that includes hanging out with a couple of checkered Yorkshiremen.
You forgot to let me know your wardrobe choice today. Maybe we'd just say it's company uniform.
Angus and Jack have got a 120-mile journey across the Pennines to Jenny Powell's house in Manchester.
When I was young, the thing to watch on telly was Top of the Pops.
Oh, I used to watch that as well.
Yeah. So she used to present that, and that was a massive show. And we're going to meet her and her daughter, Connie.
Jenny actually has 2 daughters. Her youngest, Polly Anna, age 14, and her eldest, 22-year-old Connie, who, when she isn't visiting, lives down south.
I'm an artist, and I live in London. But I obviously love coming back home.
Oh, I wonder why.
Yes, when Connie isn't stuffing her face with Mum's home cooking, she's upstairs in her childhood studio.
I absolutely love it. It's like where I first painted when I was younger, so it's like very sentimental.
But nearly 10 years of spills and splatters are starting to take their toll.
Paint is just going everywhere else apart from on the canvas sometimes. Wherever you go, it goes on the bottom of your feet, and then those feet go elsewhere around the house, and then it goes on your clothes.
It's like living art.
You see what I mean? She talks her way out of everything.
So the penthouse studio has got to go. But luckily for Connie,
We've got lots of space in the shed, if it was cleared out, of course, for maybe Connie to do her work in there. Don't you agree, Connie?
Yeah.
So clearing out the shed is first on the agenda then.
Right, Jack, we're somewhere along here.
The house, Jack. It's lovely.
Yeah.
Stunning.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Sorry, Elsa.
Elsa.
Angus, Jack, Jenny. Welcome to Powell Towers. Come in.
Thank you.
Powell Towers, where Jenny has lived for 13 years, is a traditional Victorian townhouse made up of 5 bedrooms and stands 4 stories tall.
So how is it that we can help today?
The truth is, I've got a lot of pieces that have come with me from various other houses, but I don't necessarily use them all. Time to let them go.
And what are the plans for any money raised?
Want to help Connie out? Because we've got a couple of ideas, haven't we? We like an exhibition. And...
Yeah, I'd love to put an exhibition on in London. That's kind of my plan, in my next steps of my plan.
So, yeah, it'd be great to help her out.
Excellent.
So do you need us to, like, show you around?
I mean, that would be helpful.
First up on the tour, the shed, and hopefully soon to be Connie's new art studio.
Oh, welcome to Shay Shed. Shay Shed Jenny. I don't know. I've never invited anyone into the shed before.
Have you not? Well, we feel very privileged and honoured, don't we?
Yeah, so you should. I'm sure you've seen these beds before.
Yeah,
French
sort of
beds.
French walnut bed. Yeah.
Yeah.
The good thing is you've got the mattress because quite often they're a 4 foot rather than the modern standard 4'6", and then that makes it tricky.
But this bed, I used to go out with, you know, Take That?
Yeah.
So I used to go out with Jason Orange. He eventually bought my flat, and in my flat was this gorgeous chandelier. And I said, right, Jason, you can have buy my flat, but I'm taking my chandelier. And he went, no, I want to keep the chandelier. I said, I'll tell you what, I'll have the bed for the chandelier.
OK, right.
So there's a story to that.
So...
Take that if you want.
I will take that, yes.
Oh. We've also got this amazing chest here.
Yeah, I like that.
My lovely fiancé, Martin, I met him 10 years ago. He lived in New York, so we used to go around all these amazing furniture shops. And this is from Brooklyn in New York, so that's a little bit, but it's got to go.
OK.
Jenny's making some tough decisions to clear some space for Connie.
Anything in the house, or is it just what we've got in here?
No, I've got, did I not tell you? You know it is called Powell Towers?
Yes.
Yeah, well, right at the very top,
yeah,
there's another beautiful bateau bed. They're very heavy, very awkward to dismantle, really difficult to take down 4.5 flights of stairs.
Right.
So there's that bit. And then there's some other stuff which is down in the cellar, which is 4 floors down.
She's enjoying this.
Basically, my home is your home. Have a good rummage round.
Well, I'll go have a look around the house, Jack. Do you want to make a start?
Yeah, I'll get started on all this.
Well, there's a lot of big, bulky bits. These old antique-style beds, we struggle with them. We really do. But, you know, there's some interesting pieces, so we shall see.
Good luck.
While Jack gets to grips with the shed, Angus starts in the basement. And what's this?
OK, so we've got a full-panelled room screen. It gives you privacy, it can act as a room divider. I mean, folding screens have been around for a long time. I mean, you think back to them in the Victorian period, into the early 1920s and that sort of thing. I think this is a 20th century one as opposed to a much earlier piece. But it's a good thing, and we should be all right selling that.
A good start. Anything upstairs?
Jenny?
Hello?
I found your secret room.
Oh, you're in my boudoir. Some like little things that I've done before, like interviews and stuff with, you know, like Sylvester Stallone there.
Yeah.
And this one, look. More Brian Blessed. Yeah, but he was my favourite after you. Yeah. He's a really interesting guy. Also Arnold Schwarzenegger, he was incredible.
Yeah.
I was quite in awe. When I first met him. But what I did was, I thought, how can I break the ice? And I found out that there was this book that changed his life when he was back in Austria and he was a kid. It made him want to live the American dream, you know, get out of Austria. And I bought him the book. And there was a little tear in his eye.
Oh.
And he was like, how did you know about this journey? And I went, I've done my research, Arnold, that's why.
Speaking of doing your research, how's Jack getting on in that shed?
So this is the typically French walnut bed frame. I can tell it's French because you've got this lovely sort of Rococo design. You've got these fantastic swirls there and the floral aspect. It's almost like a seashell pattern there as well. It's really lovely.
Rococo, deriving from the French word rocaille, meaning rock or broken shell, was a design style that first emerged in France in the early 18th century and was commonly seen in furniture, art and architecture.
It's not that old, only, maybe 100 to 150 years old at most. They're not fantastic sellers' beds, but you never know, someone might just fall in love with the design.
Good, good. One for the van. Meanwhile, Angus is steadily making his way up the rest of the house. Connie's art is definitely a fixture here.
There's art all over the house. I mean, this is like the gallery, isn't it?
Yeah, it is like a gallery, home gallery. So I do like big, large-scale canvases, but I'm just thinking, would Angus be interested in possibly trying to auction off one of my smaller, like line drawing nude pieces that are just on paper? I sketch them out first and then I paint over them with black acrylic paint.
So potentially we could take one to the sale?
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna have a think about which one.
Fantastic. Yeah, well, I'll let you flick through and see potentially which one you want to send, and yeah, I'll keep looking around and we'll get some stuff loaded on the van.
Finally, the top floor.
Mum wasn't joking about paint on the floor, was she? So this is the bed. That's gonna be fun getting that out. Now, the trouble is with a lot of these old beds is they're so small, which means they're very difficult to sell. Maybe you'd use it as a window seat or up against a wall with some big scatter cushions on it. It becomes more of a sofa, or what we'd call a day bed. You can recline and relax.
Angus?
Best go get Jack.
Poor Jack. This ain't going to be easy.
There's 46 steps from the basement to the very top. So, yeah, we're gonna have our work cut up. No, we're gonna mark the walls. Right, come back to me a little bit.
Ah, not the best start.
Trouble is, the screws on it, they're the typical French bolts. They're just a round head, and you have to put the right size nail in it to twist them out.
After 30 minutes of fiddling and hauling, the bed's on the van. Now to tackle the rest of Jenny's things, one floor at a time. And after 20 trips up and down those stairs, all 46 of them...
Oh, it's heavy, this, Jack, isn't it?
Oh, God, it weighs a ton.
The lads are nearly finished.
It feels good. I feel like lighter and brighter. So, no, it's almost been therapeutic, I'd say.
And there's just one last thing to load.
Did you decide which one you're going to let go?
This is actually my favourite one.
Right. So you don't want to let me have that one?
Yeah, no, I would like to let you have that one.
Okay, brilliant. And this one's signed, isn't it?
Yeah, it's actually signed.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you. There we go.
The boys are done. And now all that remains is to show Connie her new workspace.
So...
Oh, wow. Gosh, it's like twice the size, twice the room.
It is.
Look at that. Can you visualise now? You could actually cover all the walls in your paintings too.
Can't wait.
Thank you, Angus.
You're very welcome.
And it's been a pleasure to have you in Pal Towers. Today has been exceptional. Angus just got this amazing energy, so positive. Do you know what? I've just enjoyed it. And I put all my trust and my faith in him. No pressure, Angus.
So this is my first auction where it's my art in it, and I'm actually really scared.
Well, what a day. A lot of it is sort of furnishings. Potentially the hardest thing's going to be the beds because of the size that they are. So we've got our work cut out on sale day.
Jenny will be hoping all of her items sell, Angus. If she plans to fund Connie's big art exhibition, good luck.
All right, Mark.
Back at the auction house, the team wastes no time in starting the process of researching and cataloguing all of Jenny's things. Sale room manager Jeremy has found a frame for Connie's painting, and now it's ready for auction. He wants to get art specialist Charlotte's take on it.
So, Charlotte, What are your thoughts on this?
It's quite interesting. It looks as though it's been done in possibly a single brushstroke or maybe a few, but it doesn't look like the brush has been taken off the page much.
Oh, I see. I never thought of that.
I think that style of painting is quite popular at the moment. This is a really nice example of it.
This will be the first time that any of her works have appeared at auction. Are you confident, or...?
I really like it, personally. I suppose it's slightly more difficult because she's obviously a new artist. People don't know her name yet.
I mean, you have to start somewhere, don't you, so... And luckily she's starting with us. We will be offering it to a huge, potentially international audience.
Yes, upwards of 800 bidders could be tuning in online from around the globe on sale day.
It'd be great if it sells.
Jenny gave up 30 items for Angus to take away, from beds to spoons. Jack is investigating a cast iron urn.
It's very Baroque in its style. Now, Baroque started in Italy in the 17th century. It's very stylised, like this piece is. I particularly like this cherub on it. It's quite a cheeky little grin on the chap there.
Baroque is an elaborate style of architecture, art and design. One of its defining characteristics is its use of human figures.
It's such a lovely piece to look at. I'm pretty confident it's well over 100 years old, so it's definitely in the antique bracket. It's really lovely. It's probably my favourite piece from her job, actually. I really do love it. I can't see this not selling on auction day. This, I can see a lot of people interested in it. I'm sure it'll do very well.
After a 3-hour drive, Jenny and Connie have touched down in Kirby Moorside.
Thanks for having us.
No, that's all right.
Yeah.
Good.
So,
You excited?
Very excited. A bit apprehensive.
Are you?
Yeah, well, you know, what if nothing sells?
I think it will.
Oh, okay.
We've had a bit of pre-sale interest.
Oh,
yeah,
have you?
on a few bits.
Okay,
yeah. So,
all right.
Well,
Okay.
why don't you come on in and have a look round?
Please.
With a few minutes to spare before the auction begins.
See, when it's out like that, isn't it gorgeous?
I forgot, it's actually quite nice.
I know.
Jenny and Connie say a final farewell to their things.
Oh, I feel quite nervous.
It all looks a lot better now that it's in here. Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Most of their items is furniture, which is always a hard sell. Some of it will be all right, but I suppose the one lot that I'm really hopeful that we sell well is Connie's artwork.
I think that looks fantastic. You should be proud of yourself.
Are you a bit biased because you're my mum?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what? I think they're such happy-go-lucky people that I think it should be a good day.
Do you know what I'm really looking forward to? Seeing Angus in action.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know if he's going to come in a sort of like superhero outfit, fly down off the balcony.
Not all heroes wear capes, Jenny. Angus will need some extra strength up on that rostrum today, though, because any cash raised will be going towards the important objective of funding Connie's art exhibition. Charlotte and Eleanor will be keeping a watchful eye on anyone checking in online, and we've got Porter Vanya on the floor.
Morning, everybody. Morning. I feel like a school teacher.
First up, it's the French Rococo walnut bed that once belonged to a certain ex-boy band member.
So I used to go out with Jason Orange, and now we're getting some interest.
And this was your bed?
And at the time, that was his bed.
Connie, I'm so sorry.
There you go.
No, sorry, me too.
Sorry. OK, carry on.
Straight in at £100, at £100 a bid, at 100 it is then. 110, 110, 120, 130. £130 it is then, at £130.
A sprinkle of showbiz can go a long way.
Might have to go and have a lie down on that bed.
Next up.
Lovely sort of bronze urn there. There we go. It's a nice thing, is that there? And I've got a £100 bid. £100 I bid. 110, 20, 30, 40, 150. £150 it is then at 150. I'm going to sell then at 150.
Jack's favourite item goes to a buyer in North Yorkshire.
That's great.
It's the wooden chest that Jenny and fiancé Martin bought in New York 10 years ago.
It's really nice. Sorry about the cup stain on the top. Just needs rubbing
Mark.
down. Oh, I pointed it out. I'm sorry.
Quick, Angus, stop her.
You can't take your mum anywhere, can you? 120 and bid at 120 it is, then £120 it is, then 130 and bid at 130, 140, 150, 160, £160 it is, then at 160. We're all done. At 160, I'm going to sell then at 160. 160. Thank you very much.
Nicely done. And over the next 5 minutes, Angus flies through 11 more of Jenny's lots, including the French walnut sleigh bed,
I'm starting commission bid at 50.
a Rococo-style dining chair,
£55 at 55.
and the Oriental room divider.
At £100 it is, then at £100.
Shifted a lot of stuff, haven't we?
Before moving on to the main event, it's Connie's painting.
And we've got the artist here.
I'm the artist. Hello.
There we go. Where's your bid for it? £30 start me. £30. Come on. £30 at 30. 30. We're off. We're off.
A bidder online likes it.
32. 32 it is.
Ooh, and another.
35, 38, 38, 40. £40 a bid at 40.
See, it's going now.
£40 it is then at 40. 45 it is then. 48 £48.
It's still climbing.
50 bid. 55, 55 it is. 60 and bid at £60. At 60. 65 and bid at £65. At 60.
I'm having palpitations.
At 65.
You've done good there.
Thank you.
It's a great result. A keen bidder in North Yorkshire snaps up Connie's painting.
I think he's been glad to see the back of us, to be fair.
So Connie's auction debut was a success. But what about the total raised? Have Jenny's items brought in a healthy sum to put towards Connie's all-important exhibition?
Angus!
Hello.
Hello.
You all right?
I'm surprised how I feel. Because I do feel a little bit emotional.
Do you? It's kind of cathartic, I guess.
Yeah,
That's
good
what you
word,
say.
Connie.
No,
Good word.
I suppose the best result, of course, was the picture selling.
Yeah, I know. I'm so glad it sold. It's so cool, like, to be there and actually watch it get auctioned off. I don't know if it was cool or it was very scary, but it was
Scary? You have confidence
Yeah,
in
I
it.
know. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's definitely given me more confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I suppose you'd like to know what your budget is.
Yeah, I would.
You'll be taking home £1,070.
That's brilliant.
That's really, really amazing.
And isn't it
Thank
brilliant
you.
where it's come from? So all those memories that had and all those things, now, you know, we're going to make new memories and you're going to have an amazing career.
I'm just absolutely delighted about Connie's picture. That was #1 mission of today, and we succeeded in that.
First auction done.
You've got some cash now for your art career, but a big tick in the box for me has to be the fact that it means I get that spare room back upstairs.